Can we say something else like?
You ever seen the movie Snakes on a Plane with Samuel Jackson?
I'm tired of these mother snakes on this mother plane.
Perfect.
All right, we're rolling. This is breaking, 100% breaking. Definitely just happened, and it wasn't like 4 weeks ago because it takes me that long to edit. Hawktua Girl released a crypto.
Scam.
Okay, how long do we release ours, guys?
No, we're not. No, we're gonna buy Bitcoin.
That's okay. That's probably the safest way to go. Is just keep buying, not financial advice.
Yeah, no, not of that at all.
I'm not licensed.
It's advice for me.
Exactly.
More,
yeah. If you're giving
more.
yourself advice, that's totally okay. And if other people take that advice and they become instantly rich,
okay, if I was to I've told my brother was against me like buying that trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he advised against it. My old boss advised against it. And I said, I got to make my own decisions. So
Yep.
that's what I did. So it was here. Okay.
Careful.
I know. Yeah. Hear everyone's advice. I was like, oh, I didn't think of that. Let me write that one down. Oh, I didn't hear that. Let me write that one down. I would have a book of all the advice, and I was like, and I would jokingly say, oh, let me write that one down. All right, let me file it away. There you go. I'm folding the trash.
File it
Just
right
like,
away in the
file it
landfill.
away. But no, listen to everyone's advice and take the best steps you think are better. But I think as far as like Bitcoin is the best advice. Like if you can get Bitcoin, get it now. It's not too late. It's never too late to get Bitcoin.
Oh, what was about?
Now, if you want to gamble with shit coins, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Go
This
for it.
lottery ticket method.
Yeah, same thing. Just do what you can. But yeah, what she did, man, how much?
So from my understanding,
yeah,
there was 17% of the supply that was given out to like pre-sale type dealios, and everybody knows how pre-sale is going to go.
it's all scams.
Those people, as soon as they're allowed to sell, are going to sell.
Yep.
And that's what happened.
But same thing with Picoin. Like as soon as I have, I'm going to sell that as soon as I can. But if I can still mine it,
If there's an incentive to keep it, that's the only
which
way
is
I can
mining.
see.
If you can mine it on your phone, then keep mining it.
I think their best bet would be go like a staking route, because then that would incentivize you not to sell the coins.
I know. I want to sell it and buy Bitcoin.
But
I'll
I'll
still-
flip it for Bitcoin.
I'll still mine it. I'll still help because if you're mining, you're creating what do you call it, like the blockchain. You're mining, so that's good. I'm going to continue mining it to help the system out, but I'm selling as soon as I get a chance.
Well, I mean, Bitcoin's the gold standard. It started it all.
Yep.
So
The easiest advice for Bitcoin though is like if you're willing to hold it for years, then there is not a bad price. That's if
Diamond
you're-
hands.
You have to be able to hold it for years.
You can't have lettuce hands. You gotta have diamond hands.
Wet lettuce hands.
Yeah, exactly. So
Salad
that's
fingers.
the whole point of that. Is that you can't do that. You have to hold on to it as long as you can. What?
I said salad fingers. Now that's a throwback right there.
That
Salad?
sure is.
Yeah, it is.
What's that from?
It's on YouTube.
It's like old early YouTube cartoons.
Yeah.
Like
Really good.
obscure, weird art type stuff.
Like the unicorn one?
Unicorn
Similar
one.
but more dark.
Oh, you're talking about like the two unicorns with Charlie.
Llamas with hats.
Charlie. Did you see the? I guess the ending.
Real true ending, 100%. Dude, I don't care anymore. I'm sorry. Like the first one was gold. You had your thing.
Yeah.
I don't care.
This is episode 4.
Yes, this
Yeah.
is episode 4.
Yeah, this is episode 4.
Dude,
Yeah,
this
we
is
might talk
good.
about like the scheduling. Like we still planning on doing like bi-weekly. Is that the?
I think so.
Are you okay with that? Because
yeah, that gives me plenty of time to edit. And
I was thinking about how you're gonna edit. I was of course saying like, what does have to
Shut up.
sexually?
yeah, what do you got to do?
Yeah,
No, so
thank
they'll-
you for doxing me, by the
Oh,
way.
I'll censor it, Jill. I'll make it go.
There you
It'll
go.
bleep out.
There we go.
I'll
But
say you.
Yeah, what do I have to do
Sorry.
in a very intimate manner?
I just need to like bite the bullet and like
No, because I thought the best thing I could do is here's the pictures.
Yeah.
Here's the pictures so you don't have to search.
If you help me find that stuff, that will help immensely.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Oh, has that worked, by the way? That what I've sent you and also him.
I haven't got
so
to
far?
edit.
I know,
that
but
far.
does that help so far?
Yes.
That's why I put
Okay.
when I've seen you pictures is for this episode.
Yep.
I put that on there too.
I
just
can
to
look
make
off
sure.
the dates too, and then
Yeah.
roughly go off of which episode we got through that. But
But I'm just thinking we don't have to. don't have to necessarily do it like all the time.
Beep, 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 beep. They'll just censor every slap.
No, yeah, man, it's this is cool, man.
Yeah.
We're not gonna have that many.
Hey, man, it's love of the game.
Yes, and that's what I like about this.
No ASMR. No, we're not turning into an ASMR podcast. Not yet.
That'd be weird.
That would be insanely weird.
Yeah, it would be.
So you may start off with the history.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
we should probably roll into that.
Gonna go back in time.
Oh, wait. Hold up.
Yeah.
Soundboard.
Okay, so every episode I talk about. Last time I was talking about Earth, and then one thing I noticed too when I was looking at the times. These are all I put them all in BC. I like using BC. I don't like using.
Very based in Christ pilled of you.
Yes. So what
Yes.
was that? Was it BC?
BCE.
I don't like that.
Era.
No. BC. The reason why. Now, I don't like Degrassi. Tyson.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I don't like him, but before he went woke, but before that he was. I listened to him all the time.
When he purely went off the teleprompter and didn't like. He was good at playing a scientist on TV. Same with Bill Nye.
Dumb it down. Yeah.
They're good at explaining like to us laymen what
Yes.
is actually like.
And that's
going
what I liked
on,
about
cosmic,
the most.
big ideas like that. Now, they are still just as weak to mimetic influence, just like all of us are. Like ideas, infectious ideas.
Yes. Yeah.
Parasitic Mind, God Sod, good read. But he's also got another book coming out called Suicidal Empathy. That's basically going over how the whole woke thing. It's literally a form of suicidal empathy.
It's exactly what it is.
And that just happened to infect Bill Nye and then Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I never listened to Bill Nye, and for some reason I just didn't. The guy's a clown.
We grew up on him. So.
Yeah.
Is that why?
Yeah,
Yeah,
as
I
soon
think
When
I
it
saw.
was purely educational, it was great stuff.
Yeah. As soon as he started doing that, I was like, "Why?
Yeah, you just
You
ruined it,
just
yeah.
ruined my
Yeah,
childhood,
I'll
bro."
pull up the whole. I'll play a clip of that whole like gender thing he did on like when he tried to like revise the show or bring it back.
Cause my sex junk is so much more than either.
There's like a whole gender bent dance thing they were
Yeah,
doing.
I saw that. It's just like I stopped.
What is happening?
It just died.
Well, the worst.
So like when
actually.
when Degrassi said basically that the Gregorian calendar, and it was it was basically like BC and AD, and stick with that. So that's why when I do the time things I always do by BC. So let me go back to So what I noticed that was interesting was the Big Bang. Whenever that happened, the 13.8 billion BC. It was 190 million years that the galaxy formed, a time span. That's how much time elapsed. And then when the Milky Way was created, and then 9 billion BC, 9 billion years later, the sun was created. So it got me thinking about that. Like the galaxy's formed, and you have like everyone always was always wondering like how the hell all these elements in the periodic table formed, right? And I saw a cartoon video, and it explained that basically when you have Big Bang happens, and for about 190 million years, all these stars started forming. So the first element that happens is
hydrogen.
first one, one to one, one electron, one proton, and then neutron, right? And so you have all these gases. So the only way you can make the next element is fusing them together. So for millions of years, for about probably I say there, as soon as apparently there's galaxies that are existing 200 million years after the Big Bang, which is like, whoa, wait a minute. So our galaxy formed about 190 million years later. It formed. So the problem with that is that these stars, you have a
Hydrogen.
star, and it grows so big, and eventually the
Hydrogen.
in the center fuses to the next element, and it fuses again and again.
It just keeps getting denser,
keeps
and denser
denser and denser.
that's how the stars die eventually.
Yes, and then when it gets so big, to where it gets to iron 49, when it gets to iron, it goes to oxygen, it goes to nitrogen, it goes to all those elements, every single one of them, till you get to iron 49, I think it is. And it gets to iron, and it can't compress the iron anymore. It's nuclear ash. Iron is nuclear ash.
That's what that is.
That's cool.
And so it crushes, it can't do it no more. And then it can't crush it no more. It gets bigger, and it gets bigger, and it gets bigger and bigger, bigger star. And then boom, the whole thing explodes.
Yeah, it breaks that fundamental rule of density and forms a singularity or turns into a dwarf, I think.
Yeah, and then all the elements that come out of that, every single element after that is created because of that supernova, basically.
Okay. Yeah,
And that's crazy.
That's similar to what they're doing at the Hadron Collider thing, where like smashing atoms together to make new particles.
That's pretty scary.
Yeah.
And so when you understand that part, that's the 190 million years that eventually our Milky Way is created. And then when the Milky Way is created, another 9 billion years later, our sun is created, right? Okay. And so like how many civilizations existed or gone, come and go, and it's like, we can't be the only ones, right? So that's
mathematically, no, it's an insanely unlikely probability, but at the same time, the galaxy or the universe could be sprawling with life. The problem is time. We're not going to have the time to ever reach out and communicate because it's such a vast distance.
No, I've seen that too, to where they call it, for example, like at least within 2 million, maybe 4 million light years from the galaxy, from our Milky Way galaxy, the Andromeda galaxy is like 2 million light years away. And the Andromeda and the Milky Way are heading towards each other. And over like billions of years, eventually they're going to collide, they're going to merge. Now, our galaxy right now, it's not exactly flat. It has a little bit of a curve up and down, so like a sombrero pretty much. So and you see all the other.
It's like a Pringles chip.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
It's kind of like not exactly flat. Now the thing is too, there's remnants of other galaxies that we've merged with, and those are the Magellanic Clouds, large and small.
Yeah, I saw
Many
a
of
video breaking that down. I'll have to see if I can find a picture of it or something.
Yeah.
Throw it up.
So that's crazy. And so within our neighborhood of Andromeda and the Milky Way, this little neighborhood of ours is just going to stay together forever, till the black holes evaporate, basically. And so what's going to happen is they're going to stay together in that group. Now I hear two conflicting things that I don't understand about when it comes to the cosmos and how the universe is expanding, right? So imagine like chairs or tables. Each one of these chairs has a group of galaxies, whatever, right? And so you move them farther and farther apart, but that neighborhood will stay together. The light we see from other chairs farther away of the galaxy, we see them, but eventually over time, when they get to the edge of the observable universe, we won't see it no more. The light,
they start to redshift and then
and it's gone. You can't see it no more. So the only thing I see the problem with that is that they show that our neighborhood and the expanded neighborhood from that is actually they're all moving in one direction, right? So that's like I think they had like a Hawaiian name for it.
Laniakea.
Hawaiian name. Okay.
There's some kind of Hawaiian name for like where all the galaxies are moving towards, right? And they see that. So it doesn't make any sense. Like how is the universe expanding and all of it's moving in one direction? That means those two ideas conflict with me in my head because I can't comprehend what that means exactly. I have to show you videos. I have to show you pictures of that.
I've had it.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're saying. I just don't know how to explain it. Or it's like it has to do with the curvature of space time, like getting farther away, but still
moving in one direction.
Yeah,
and that's the part I don't understand. So that's where it's like. And then I start thinking about like if it's like 9 billion years until our sun was created when the galaxy was formed. Like how many civilizations existed or don't exist? How many ruins are left over? And not only that, it's I know.
How many exist still to this day? That's the thing.
Well, yeah, that's what we don't know.
And also, how do you determine what day it is?
Right. Exactly.
That's something that the Warhammer 40K fandom, like, they're still trying to like parse together the timeline.
Are we still in the 31st? Are we in the 40th? Like,
no, we're in the 40th.
Okay, depending on how close you are to a super massive black hole or how fast you're traveling,
everything speeds up and you slow down.
Yeah, so time is insanely hard to measure
based on gravity.
And also when you enter slip space, like or the warp for 40K, when you're entering another dimension, how does time handle relative to that? Do you end up going into the warp and popping out on the other side, or is there ever a scenario where you pop out on the other side before you even went into the warp?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
like
those are all ideas.
What kind of shit? Like what?
When everyone talks about like UFOs and I'm convinced there's at least 3, I would say, aliens, right? Or beings. First is us that we know of. And the second one would be, for me, confirmation would be the entities that I saw when I did DMT. And then the next one would be like, who the hell is flying the Tic Tac, Go Fast, and Gimbal?
I still think that's DARPA. That's just my guess.
I don't know, man.
I think
It's half and half.
if it's a drone, it doesn't have to worry about the meat puppet inside
True.
being sloshed around with all the G forces. So
I just don't.
I think it's just unmanned drones.
That would be similar
Yeah.
to Ace Combat 7. They have drones they kind of send out. And like the final 2 are like bosses in the storyline. And they turn on a dime. I'm not even kidding.
That's the part. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think there's at least like 3 aliens that I know of that I think I'm convinced of this. And like, how many have happened before? How many ruins are left out there? What? And then I think another thing too is like, what can last forever, and like what material can last forever.
I don't.
Right.
Matter's always
It breaks
in it.
down.
It breaks down. It's
Yeah.
always in flux, always changing.
There might be.
Now things get weird when you hit absolute zero because that's
Yeah.
still all theoretical.
That's
We don't-
weird. Yeah.
If we could somehow get something to exist outside of time like that, that could
I
be a
always,
loophole.
I always thought that too, that the absolute zero would have something to do with
It
time.
has to do with the atoms
Yes.
moving around. And absolute zero would be zero movement.
Zero
in the
movement,
atoms at
yes.
all.
And I always thought that maybe there's time connected to that somehow. But, there's no such thing as going back in time. They're slowing it down.
There's tachyons, which
Yeah.
they seem to be flowing backwards in time, which is
See, now that's what I'm saying. So there is something to do with that. And that's I always thought that in my mind too. So when the sun was created, then about 60 million years later, the Earth is created. And that's at 4.5 billion BC. And then another 4 billion years later, we come around, or the U primates, right? And the U primates come out. The U primates. Now the difference with that was where we're looking. I was showing bleep, bleep the other day. So the difference between the U primates and there's 2 branches that spun off from that, and that's what I'll show you in the picture. What I meant there. The 2 main ones are the haplorhymine and the steptorhymine. So the steptorhymine, basically, the difference between those 2, when the first U primates were created, there's a separation, and there's us, which were the haplorhymine, and the other one's the steptorhymine, right? What makes it the difference is that one has a cold nose, and the other one has a dry nose, and the other one has a wet nose. That was the difference in the species, right? And so you have the U primates had 2. Not only that, when U primates came around, they actually had nails. They didn't have claws anymore. That's the difference. So we started having nails instead of claws. And then eventually, they had opposable thumbs, and they were also sexually dimorphic. So we're actually there's male versions and female versions.
Oh,
So that started happening too.
that didn't happen beforehand.
They were kind of almost similar. Like if you look at, for example, some species of animals are almost identical except for the colors, right? Like if you look at,
Okay, you mean like secondary traits, not like the
Yeah.
actual reproductive organs.
they're just like they're ones that are bigger and the others are smaller. And so the male versions are always like bigger and the females are always smaller. And that started happening too. Now the haplorhymine, they have dry noses and the other ones have wet noses, and that's the separation there. So then after the haplorhymine, I say between the U primates and the haplorhymine, about 200,000 years passed when they became haplorhymine. And I'll send you a picture of the haplorhymine, what they look like. And it basically looks like a monkey with a flat face, basically. And then after the that's where I'm at now. It's the haplorhymine. What do you have there?
It just says Burger 2010.
Oh, so after the haplorhymine, then you have the anthropoids. So when anthropoids came out, anthropoids are the next phase of humans, or the apes. So the anthropoids, they're also known as simians, basically. So those happened like around 40 million years ago. So that happens about 20 million years later, 10 million years later. That's when those happen. So that's where I'm at right now, as far as like seeing the time in between the species too, which is really neat. It's like how much time has passed between like the Big Bang to the Milky Way, short, and then when the Milky Way to the sun, large time of span, and then from the sun to the Earth, short, and then from the Earth to the first primates, first euprimates, large. Like there's always a quick then long, quick then long. I would notice that too. It's like time, how much time is spanned in between to where it's significant, right? And so that's where I'm at now. So right now with the haplorhymny, that's around 55.7 BC million. That's where I'm at now. So the next one will be another 10 million years will pass, and I'll talk about the anthropoids next after that. But so I spent like a week just like catching up and revising it, and then going more in depth. And I'm like, to me, I just sit sidetracked and start thinking about how much time has passed, because I think that's what the problem is for humans, is that we have, and it goes into Dune and other things too, is that we have amnesia. Not only that too, they don't really know where euprimates originated from, and they think it's somewhere in Asia, not in Africa. So euprimates, we think, originate in Asia, but of course the world didn't look like it. Looks different because this is sometime after the dinosaurs had died. About 10 million years later, then these little.
So would this still be like Pangea?
Way after that. Yeah.
After, okay.
I'll find a picture of that and I'll send it to you, the map of what the Earth might have looked like. But it's really neat how. But these little euprimates and these haplorhymni are tiny, dude. They're like they could fit in my hand.
Oh.
They're like really small, and these little, like that. Like these pre-humans, basically, because they're our ancestors, like they were in the trees hiding from fucking like big monsters and shit, like dinosaurs and stuff, before they were primates. And so those are the like the only thing I'm not doing acid or DMT to to really think about it. I'm getting that effect just by thinking about it. I'm like thinking how much time has passed, like how big were they, how their bodies start changing. And that's a cool thing. They did find one. When I get to the next podcast, and I'll talk about the anthropoids, I'll give you a picture also of the oldest primate skeleton they found, and that's the one I sent you a picture of that one. That one's like a real tiny little thing. He was like 1 point something ounces.
Damn,
he's small little creature that this thing later on would end up like making nuclear bombs, like 55 million years later.
Yeah.
And that to me, that just fascinates me. Like how much time has passed. And again, like we go back to, I'm almost done with this soapbox preaching. The one thing I noticed too is that I know I think we might have talked about this, that the amino acids are the building blocks of life, right?
Oh, I think we talked about that in the
Did we talk about that?
episode.
The second,
I believe.
Yeah.
One of those two.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep repeating myself.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying, that came like when the Big Bang happened and when the galaxy was being formed, Milky Way galaxy was being formed, like when then Earth was created, like 4.5 billion BC. Amino acids, the building blocks for amino acids were in space, in comets, floating around. Like the was it Permspania? What do you call it?
Panspermia.
Panspermia.
Yeah.
Like panspermia
Just
everywhere.
Sperm in a pan.
It's just all over the place, dude.
So, okay. Something scary about that is that we had like a false alarm that we had we had asteroid samples that we collected, and we were finding like basic bacteria on but the other thing is it's bacteria that we can find commonly on Earth, and they're starting to think that maybe it's just that the between handling in some way or another it got contaminated, and it's just the bacteria has such a way of like getting into whatever, like it doesn't matter how many hermetic seals you got.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because I know that when the whole idea that this the building blocks of amino acids are in comets is when they sent a satellite towards a comet to catch the little
The debris
flecks,
coming off of it.
Off of it, and they brought it back and they said, look, it just freaking amino acid building blocks are here. Like what? That just blew my mind. It's in space, dude. It's like when I said when the sun when the stars blow up, you have all these elements, and when you have elements, or places where it's warm, and you have ice, you have water, then molecules start forming, and there you go. That's where it's all in space. It's all there. necessarily have to be on a rock or a planet where the atmosphere, where it's possible. It's in space. It's just out there. That to me, I think is part of like the cosmic God, like creating life everywhere. Like it's all there. It's just time.
Time and the perfect preset or prerequisites. And we don't know the limitations of those prerequisites yet.
That's amazing. Yeah, so there you go. So that's my diddle-loo.
There we go.
I hit the button.
You did it.
So yeah, next podcast I'll talk about the next one. Yeah,
That's your fucking job. You push the button.
Push the button.
Push the button.
All right.
So what do you have to bring up?
Do you want to bring up something? Or do you want me to?
Okay, I saw you sent me that thing with the Joe Rogan, Paul Stamets.
Oh yeah,
Matt to Dune.
Yeah, I sent that.
What'd you think of that?
He told me he already seen that video.
Yeah, I watched it when it came out. So I watched it again this weekend.
Are you talking about like the actual podcast? Or are you talking about that particular video that I sent you?
The whole
The whole.
podcast.
Okay, you just making sure.
You know how we can't the reason why we tell him?
Why? I don't.
How I knew it.
Oh yeah.
You tell him that.
So he was the first one that showed me it. This is basically how the story goes. We were just chilling down in the bunker one night, and I had a
loading weapons,
loading weapons,
Prepare for the apocalypse.
Meal prepping and everything like that, getting everything situated. I'm just gonna get derailed right quick. I had a joke I wanted to say at the beginning of this, but I'll save it for later. It had to do with your suggestions and all that type of shit. So,
what do you want to bring up?
Yeah. But in all seriousness, it was a scene from, was it part 2, right, from Dune? Yeah,
It was, for me, for what triggered it for me was the first episode.
Was it
part 1? Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, but when you first showed me it, I remember you showed.
Yeah, remember?
Me, you broke it down. You broke the scene down as when they were getting that worm out of the sand pit.
That's part 2.
Yeah, that was part. That's why I was talking about part 2. And then did that clear
the water.
Have you seen it?
Water of life. Is that what you're-
the water.
You
of
seen
life.
both of them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And he showed me that. And then he was like, "Now look at this." And then he showed me the video. You should maybe
basically explaining
Standards.
the water of life. From my understanding, is there's like a way you can like get psilocybin and like distill it into what becomes a blue clear liquid, similar to the water of life that has crazy psychedelic effects, similar to the water of life.
I want to drink that, man.
I want to drink the worm goo.
Yeah, that's what he showed me. Then he showed me that entire video about that.
How it all triggered it for me.
How it all started and stuff. And that's when he brought it up again, and we wanted to talk about it in this particular episode.
Yeah.
Also, another thing to say, like there's another movie we're going to talk about soon, hopefully, with The Thing, because we were talking about that.
John Carpenter's The Thing.
John Carpenter's The Thing, not the second one, the first one, the really good one. I don't think John Carpenter did the second one, did he?
No.
No.
Prequel's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
I like how it explained the beginning of the first movie. Like, you understand why they're shooting at that dog from the helicopter.
Yeah.
and
That
There's
was
a little more context to that.
Yeah.
but-
well. He's saying it in Norwegian, but they don't speak Norwegian. That's
Yeah.
They don't know. They just think he's crazy for
Yeah.
shooting at a dog. But going back on the whole mushroom thing,
I mean, until it started.
do you want to do it?
Yeah.
Because this is your ballpark.
So after I had done the medicine, right,
Mhm.
and then I saw the Dune Part 1, and when they're going into the sandstorm, and he has a vision because he's the Kazakh,
Kuzak Sadarak.
Kwisatz Haderach, he can actually see different he to him they're like dreams or like visions, but they're actually showing him parallel universes is what they're showing him, or what he's able to tap into.
He's seeing different possible timelines.
Yes. And Jamis was actually a friend. So when the quote that Jamis says,
The mystery of life isn't a problem to solve, but a reality to experience. A process that cannot be understood by stopping it. We must move with the flow of the process. must join it. I must flow with it.
Somebody corrected me, I think, saying that no, it wasn't in the book. Or
It was between that doctor dude and
Yes.
that chick.
Huey, and the mother, Jessica.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where it actually came from. I didn't know that part, but then the movie, the quote he says, and when I listen to the quote, I go, "Whoa, wait a minute!" And I paused the movie and I was like, "Oh my god!" And so I rewinded it again, and because of the way the words were said in that order or whatever words he was saying, was exactly, it made sense to me. If you listen to it, like, I don't understand what the hell he's talking. Well, if you do the medicine, like if you hear the word, the Bible, the word,
The Bible.
the Bible, you understand the word. So for me, when I heard that, I was like, this motherfucker did shrooms. First thing, this motherfucker did shrooms.
It seems like you know how like car designs and like buildings, they're all like losing their aesthetic, and it's because we don't have fucking designers getting fucking
They're not getting
crazy high as shit coming up with these cool looking designs. That's
Thinking, yeah.
why.
So when I heard that, I was like, he had to have talked. Okay, now I started. Hold on, because Bufo, which is 5-MeO-DMT, the Sonoran Frog poison, that wasn't, I think, discovered until like the mid '80s, and that was a documentary that was done by God damn it, what's that place? Vice. Vice had that nerd guy with the glasses. He was doing trying to investigate that, and he found the real creator who discovered it. That was in the '80s. So I said, no, he didn't do that. Then I said ayahuasca wasn't done till the '70s, and that was God dang, what's his name again? To talk to the machine elves.
The clockwork elves, yeah.
Yeah, it's a clockwork. So he didn't discover it until he went to South America in the '70s and found that, and that he didn't do that. So it had to be shroom, it had to be psilocybin magic mushrooms. So I said, there's got to be a connection. So I started searching the net and basically finding an article that was in 2014 saying that Stanitz and Butler, or what's his name, the writer? God damn it, I got the wrong name again.
I don't mean
Who wrote
Frank
Dune?
Herbert?
Frank Herbert. There goes. Terrible with names. Herbert and Stannis were in communication with each other, and there was like notes being passed or whatever. And there was a story on that. I was like, I knew it. I fucking knew it.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's talking to him. Then that was for me. I saw it. I saw the connection. This guy did shrooms. That's the reason why the body politic and everything about Dune was like really interesting. Just the witches and all that too. So then I see this video, and I go, and he explains in the video how the blue, and Stannis tells him, this is that. And he goes, yeah, you're the first one to see that. And so like he's eating the mushrooms, and there's worms on there, and he's eating the worms.
Well, he was saying that he was
Protein.
seeing worms coming out of it, and
I thought what?
yeah, he did.
Oh, I thought there were real worms in there.
I don't
Oh,
think
he
he'd be
didn't
eating
do-
it if there was worms.
Okay,
coming out of
maybe
it.
he
It's just
was.
a hallucination, from my
Hey
understanding.
man,
he was
that's
just standing.
protein.
From my understanding, he was just standing out on his deck,
He
and he was
saw.
seeing worms coming out of his deck.
No, it wasn't the shrooms. He said it was in the shrooms.
And probably in the shrooms too.
Yeah.
So that's where he got the sandworms from. All as like motherfucker, I knew it. I knew that because of what. So that's what every once in a while I'll watch a sci-fi or a movie or something, and it kind of like hints to that. Silent Man is another one too. That was interesting like that too. It kind of got me like, oh, this guy. These guys.
Silent Man?
I got a question for you. Is the guy named Terrence or something like that? Or
Yes,
yeah, I have it right.
Terrence McKenna. So Terrence McKenna is the
There
one
we go. Yeah.
that found him and his brother. They found.
You want to look at it?
They stumbled across ayahuasca in Mexico or South America, and that's where that was in the '70s. He did that. So there's no way that he wrote Dune. It had to be it had to be magic mushrooms. It had to be psilocybin, and that's what inspired him to. And it's like, my God, the thing is with psilocybin, that's the elementary level. That's kindergarten. Right. That's kindergarten, elementary level. When you're talking about like ayahuasca and Bufo, those are tier one.
I think dosage can also play a big determination of that too. Like, if you're taking a crazy high dosage of psilocybin,
Yes.
I think you're
No,
getting
that-
into those.
I
higher
agree with that
levels as
too.
well.
But this is different. This is way different than that. So I think imagine if he had done the other medicines. Like, my God, what the things he would have come up with.
Or he could have scrambled his brain too. You gotta be careful.
No. Well, yeah, okay. You want to, I don't advise it.
Moderation,
I don't advise it.
moderation.
No, I'm saying that it's for everyone again, but no, it's not for everyone. You know, that kind of thing. But doesn't what? Because for me, it did me good when I did it. It took me away from suicide. It took me away from self-inflicted pain.
I think when you're it's like 25, 26, and then some places are even saying like 30 is when your brain fully develops. And then you start to like get like hard locked in on your way of thinking about the world. I think psychedelics can be a useful tool to get out of that kind of thinking if you're stuck in it and you don't see like any way to improve.
Yeah, out of that funk.
If you, that's the reason why. Like for me, I am positive about it because it did me good. No, just because it did me good doesn't mean it's going to do everyone else good. But when I went to a place where we did the medicine and there's other veterans that had like one veteran who's a Marine, his wife caught him with a gun in his mouth, and he wanted to do ayahuasca. Like, yeah, that's why we fucking do it. And so our veterans are doing this because I can tell you right now, there's at least like twice in my life I wanted to just, end it, right? And whatever you want to say, in Minecraft. I don't give a shit. It's suicide for veterans is a serious thing.
Yes, it is.
And so for me, I know what that means. And so for me, I thought I could just ignore the location. Like, no, the location exists. You have to acknowledge it, but you have to lose the coordinates to it. It's out there. You just got to lose it in the map. That's what you got to do. Now, for the first time for me, I tried to ignore it. Nope. You're back in the valley of suicide. You gotta find your fucking way out of it. So after I got out of it, because I did like self-help, and a lot of it was with Magto. That we want to talk about that. Magto, I was basically living a life of a monk and didn't realize it. And so I was like, oh my God, I'm living Magto. But eventually it's too much Magto. You got to get away from that because it gets too...
It ends up becoming a black pill cesspool of...
It's too much.
Fuck all you bitches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But come on, man. Bitches are, good-looking women. Come on, man.
I kind of ride the edge of the MGTOW thing.
I do too. I'm aware of it, and you have to acknowledge it, but you can't ignore it. So, and then after that, it was basically... I went back and I was hanging out with a bunch of veterans, and the younger guys, younger than me, like your age, a little older, these kids were telling me, you have to hug it out with your demons. And I was like, oh, you fucked me up. What?
That sounds weird. I don't want to hug a demon.
No, but you have to acknowledge it. And how do you?
Them.
You acknowledge it and you hug it out with your demons because you have to deal with it. You can't fight it. You can't fight this. So you hug it out with love. That's the only thing you can do.
Yeah, that's acknowledgement right there. Is to do that, yeah.
So for me, I've lost the location of it. It happens because men. It's higher in men because men are expected to succeed, and so and then not only that we're expendable, right?
The burden of performance.
Yes.
Yep.
So that's understandable. So that for me, it helped me not being a statistic like all the other veterans. There's at least 2 veterans that I know that were in my unit when I was 82nd that are dead now because of that. And it fucking pisses me off because Sergeant Rue is beautiful fucking man. Fucking muscular, hairy, sexy, with his fucking Puerto Rican accent.
That motherfucker was a bear.
Sexy man. He committed suicide. I don't know why. I don't want to ask either. Then his buddy, my squad leader, Sergeant Reinhardt, he loved black women. I don't know. He loved black women. But him too, man. He was a hard ass. God, he kicked my ass every fucking day I was there. And I love him for it too. Fucking hated him too. But then I heard he went green to gold. Became a fucking second lieutenant. Committed suicide. And I called the sheriff's department where it happened in California. And I said, hey, I'm so-and-so. He used to be my squad leader when I was 82nd. It's like, is it true? Did he really do it? He goes, yep, he did. I was like, I don't want to ask how he did it, but you're sure? He goes, yeah, he's Sergeant Reinhardt. Like, yeah, his full name. Yeah, that's him. Okay. I don't understand that. I don't understand why he did that. And that's what I'm saying. Like, those 2 men, it just fucking pisses me off. And so, like, other veterans that are out there that like, God damn it, talk to somebody. And it's not just veterans, it's civilians too. Like, you need to talk about this. And a lot of us deal with self-inflicted pain. That's what it is. It's self-inflicted pain that you don't fucking need to do, man. But it just irritates. It just really makes me mad that happened to these guys.
Yeah, it's hard to go through that. I mean, I was kind of the same way. I don't really talk about this stuff, so but shit, how do I say this honestly?
Keep busy.
Yeah, well, keep busy, keep your mind preoccupied
Having
to a
a
degree.
purpose.
Yeah.
That's really the biggest thing. To kind of tail off of that, I think one of the main contributors to male suicide would be what Rollo Tomasi, the rational male, that guy, what he calls zeroing out. It's where you end up in a point in your life where everything you've built up either like crumbles or falls out from under you, and you make a decision in that moment. It's like, okay, I'm at zero. Do I want to start over again, or do I want to just fucking give up? That's what yeah, exactly. And so showing people that there are alternatives, and I do think we need to legalize psychedelics for research and immediately get that to veterans as soon as possible, like PTSD, because if anything will help get that suicide rate to a lower number, then that's a win in my book.
Yeah, I do. Since you brought that up, Anchor Cops, remember him?
Yes.
Sergeant High.
Oh yeah.
He actually talked about it in one of his recent episodes, one of his recent videos, and it was talking about the Economist, talking about like how much the government is spending on veteran disability. Which, by the way, we should keep doing that. They signed that dotted line. We owe it to them. That's totally.
I think we need to take a Doge approach to the Veterans Affairs type stuff, though, because
I believe
we are
that too.
sending them a shitload of money.
Well, yeah.
I'm not saying we need to send them less. I say we need to figure out what they're spending it on, get that audited, and make sure it's actually going to help the veterans instead of paying the fucking people running the VAs.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying like they deserve it because they literally sacrificed arm and limb and soul too for this country.
I'm getting 10%.
Yeah,
You know,
and
I don't need any more.
And Anchor Cuffs did talk about exactly what you just said and what you've done, because he brought it up. He brought up a good point. Like all these veterans, not all of them, but like a good majority of them are going down to Texas, like Mexico and everything, just to do these.
You can go. You can.
But
you don't have to go to
if we didn't
Mexico.
make it such an arduous journey, if we made it to where like there was clinics and stuff in the United States that we could go to instead of flying them to another country.
Well, I think it's also like for me, it was man, when I did Bufo, that was a hero's journey for me, and I died and came back, and that was like, how do I tell people about this? You know, how do you
take such an incomprehensible experience and like dumb it down with the limitations of words?
Okay, remember when I explained to you like the whole galaxy, like the 2-dimensional, and then I started, okay, you're right here, like that's where I was at, like. Just the I could spend hours just thinking about that. Like, God damn, that's where I was convinced I was there. Like to me, it was real. It was like just like this, like touching that. It was right fucking there. Wow, doing this thing. Yeah, it was right fucking there. Yeah.
Well, you wrote it out.
The trip report.
Yeah, the trip report. Which I don't know if that website's down or whatever it is. But I tried accessing it one time and it did not let me do that.
I know there's a subreddit that does that where it's like you can check on people's like trips and they just put it up on Reddit for people to read. Like that's such a it's insane that I didn't think about this when I was doing like shrooms, just writing it down, like taking a trip report, because I was just like living in the moment. I didn't even think about like, I was type out feeling on my phone or nothing. The biggest takeaways I had from that experience though was like realizing that like ants in a like machine, like that was the first time I had like that crazy abstract thought of like, oh my God, everybody is just like in the, like the same area as me, where it's like they're just trying to live, they're trying to get through their day.
See, it gives you another
perspective.
Yes, that's what it does. Yeah.
I think a great way of recording all that. I've been doing it. I haven't done.
Well, you write, and I'm encouraging you to write more.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is like recently too. As soon as I woke up, again, because I took a nap.
Wet dream?
Shut up. That's funny.
Yeah,
by the way,
we need your wet dream report. For
by the way, so I need to tell you this too because it's funny as fuck. I don't know
tell
why.
me about your wet dreams.
Hey, no, I'm going to tell you it now. You said something about it.
And let the audience inform the audience about your wet dream. Do it.
All right, so I'm going to tell you right now. I do not understand any of these dreams that I've encountered and still remember. It's like one of those memes where you're just like this is like a fucking fever dream where just like all shit just happens. A good one is from Flex Air 5, I believe, is where Ricky Ricardo, the guy with the bandana with the American flag on it and everything. Do you know? Yeah, I know. I keep hitting it.
No, not hitting it. Project into the mic.
Talk into the mic.
Is this good? Is this good?
That's perfect. You're clipping.
Oh, okay. Well, how about now? Is this good?
Yes.
Okay. So, Ricky Ricardo, the cat that does the bongos and everything like that, they're trying to save a gnome and this anime chick from the Russians. And this, I have to show you the video. It's really amazing, by the way.
Okay.
That's
I thought you were talking about your dream for a second. What the hell is even going on?
No. This one's weird. But
This
this is an example of what a fever dream or somebody's dreams would be on a regular level. Because like, oh my God, like my mom came to me in my dream and told me this stuff. And like, oh my God, like girls with the fucking rocks and bullshit like that. But my dream particularly is apparently I was in virtual reality. It was really weird.
Dreaming you were in virtual reality.
Yes.
A dream in a dream.
A dream in a dream, whatever, continuing. But apparently, like, the NPCs and everything like that became sentient enough to the point where they convinced me or somehow changed the programming to the point where I felt like this is my life. I've been here all the time.
Oh.
Yeah.
The universe was created last Thursday meme.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And apparently I fell in love with one of these NPCs that didn't go down like that benevolent type of thing. I kind of broke her out of it somehow. And apparently I fell in love with her and she looked like Drew Barrymore from Charlie's Angels. I don't know why,
Right,
but
gotta make a note.
make a note.
Make a note of that.
Make a note. I already did because I made a voice log. I do them from time to time instead of like giving them like what numbers like 1, 2, 3. I do it by dates. So I'll go VL. What's today? Would be the 10th, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just doxed our time.
Oh no.
You're an idiot. But
This is live. There's no editing.
but I did it. I don't do it by what time it happened.
Just date.
Just the date. And I said that, and it was just weird as hell to me. I managed to somehow break through my, I guess I want to say brainwashing when it comes down to that. By somehow opening the mod list of how many mods I had in
it sounds like
VR.
your dreams are game orientated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's mirroring what you do during most of the day, I imagine.
See, that's exactly. I think your dreams.
Well,
no one really knows what dreams.
This dream
mean.
only happened twice. I remember having it twice, but every other dream that I had was completely different. Like one that I told you about with the girl in the green dress that looked exactly like another person that I knew in high school. And it was in a dark apartment complex, back porch lights, everything like that. And I told you about it, and it was just completely weird. And you told me that she's the person that's trying to contact you through these dreams or whatever it may be, is taking the form of these people that you know, these females that you know.
I have that too. I don't know what the hell it is because there's a recurring character that keeps visiting me in my dreams too, and I still don't know what that means. It's really weird. Well, like you talk about dreams like this, it's a female, and I don't know who she is, but she's always, and I'm not, like, I always think of like, Bufo and ayahuasca, like maybe it's that, like, and I remember there was a comedian that was talking about how he had his purple girlfriend when he did DMT.
Oh yeah, purple,
Right.
The purple lady that visited him, and then another guy was like same trip. Was like, the purple lady visited me, dude.
Yeah, so that's what I think is visiting me, like something like that. Like I have this brunette, light-skinned girlfriend on the outside the.
It's my interdimensional girlfriend, guys.
Yeah, it's outside the simulation.
Okay. Yeah, it's like so several theories on dreaming.
Yeah.
But first thing should be stated, you're burning calories when you're in REM sleep, and life doesn't like to. It likes to be efficient with calories. It don't burn them for no reason. So there is a purpose to REM sleep and dreaming.
Yeah.
I've had one person explain it to me. It's like, well, you know how you can set your computer to like your hard drive to defragment because it gets cluttered and nasty over time. So you just in intervals, you defragment, compress that data into a more efficient storage.
Faster.
I think that REM sleep could be a version of that for the wet brain.
Yeah. No, I think there's something to that.
Wet
yeah.
brain.
The wet brain, yeah.
See, my dreams, besides that, the chick who keeps visiting me, and she cries when I don't recognize her.
Who the fuck you is?
And she starts crying like, I don't know who you are. Sorry.
New brain. Who this?
Because I'm a what do you call it? I'm a
Chauvinist.
not that, but no, alpha was it? Not alpha.
Chad.
No, not a Chad. What's the highest
Omega.
one? Omega.
Omega.
I'm
no,
Omega.
No, it'd be Sigma, I think.
I'm a Sigma male. Was like,
So
what is a Sigma
I
male?
forget.
I'm a Sigma.
There- Okay, Rolo has some
Yeah.
really good breakdowns of this, the whole like
The ranking.
social sexual hierarchy thing. And people are just, they hear a whole bunch of categories and then it turns into astronomy for men again.
Oh,
But
yeah.
as a good placeholder, alpha and beta are good like for terms to simplify ideas.
Yeah.
When you start getting into the whole like sigma, gamma,
It's a bunch of
omega-
bullshit.
Yeah, because if you're claiming you are a sigma, that act in itself already makes you not a sigma.
Yeah, exactly.
Because a sigma wouldn't go out announcing to the world, I'm a sigma.
Exactly. You don't have to announce
And
it.
a gamma would be a guy who has a whole fucking spreadsheet on like, okay, here's why my wife turned down fucking me. Like this time it's because she had a headache. This time it's because she didn't feel like it. This time it's because she like wanted to go hang out with her friends or something.
Yeah.
That's a gamma. And I think, yeah, he broke it down where it was like the Friends, you know, the show where it was like Joey being an oblivious alpha, Ross being a beta, and then like Chandler being a gamma, shit like that. He was just
You
like,
being serious about that?
no, he wasn't. Okay, he was.
No, I'm asking you. You
And all the girls are just sluts,
I don't
right?
take any of this seriously. Like,
Yeah, it's comedy.
It's good
Yeah.
ways of conveying ideas, I guess. Like,
the memes like memes.
but I don't. I think if you're genuinely going out and saying, "Oh, this person's a gamma" or "This person's a fucking sigma," that's when it gets like
That's bullshit,
autistic levels of like, I don't think this is doing what you think it's doing. I don't think this is helping you categorize.
So
It's
what,
not that
So
deep,
what do you
bro.
call it when you just ignore women? Like, you're
That's okay. That is MGTOW or how do you pronounce it? It's-
MGTOW. I think so. I think there's a little bit of that in my life in general because for me, money's more important and happiness is more important than.
One of my crypto influencers has a little thingy where he says like men usually flip between money mode and bitches mode, and
Money.
they usually can't hang out in both.
You can't hang out. Yeah,
Nope,
exactly.
like they'll just switch between the two.
Yeah. I don't,
When they're low on money, they go back to money. When they're low on bitches, then they
Go
and they have money, they go to bitches.
So I don't know what it is. So this I don't know, whoever this chick is, when I keep upsetting, she cries, and I feel bad. Like, oh, sorry, I don't know who you are. I know
Aw.
that's just this is weird. So I've had this is I think it's something, and I tell them also the dreaded dreams I have are basically where I'm picking a character to live.
Oh, you're in the
Oh,
character
yeah.
creators.
I'm in the like I had a dream where I was on a mountaintop, like a plateau mountaintop somewhere, and the mountains look for fucking real. And that was my buddy, the police officer, my buddy friend. And I was like, hey man, why don't we play this one? And we just like went into a program and lived that life for this person. It's kind of like Rick and Morty. when the guy's playing the video game and he after 40 years he dies.
Yeah.
And he thought it was fucking
You
real.
went back to the carpet store?
Yeah.
You beat cancer and you went back to the carpet store?
Yeah, like that. So
I
we're just
haven't
picking
seen that
out
episode.
lives. That my dreams were about that. Like it's, and when I hear stuff like that the universe is a simulation, I'm like, I don't know, man. Maybe it is. You know,
I think
it's a simulation that's real.
Okay, yeah. If it is a simulation, it might as well be real for us because
Yes.
there's not really a way we can
can't-
break through to true reality. It's like
You can do bufo and ayahuasca, and
that's a lie.
that'll break that. Like
it might
or
help you have an
programming.
understanding beyond
listen,
your limitations.
guys,
but
listen. All right, I'm getting on my soapbox. The silica packets.
that is the ultimate test of the universe. Yeah.
That's the ultimate test of the universe.
You
You,
know-
take those.
The ultimate, like it says, do not eat. This is a funny story because it relates back to like early Facebook.
Yeah,
That meme was circulating so much that Facebook had to put warnings on those posts.
God damn,
Yeah,
like, don't do this.
because dum-dums are going to think, oh, really? If I eat the silica packet, I can break free of the simulation?
What's his name?
Don't do that. Do not eat silica packets.
Hey, Vsauce Michael here. He actually made candy like that. like silica packets. You make candy like that.
That look like it?
They look like that, yeah.
They even have. Do they have the do not eat thing on them?
If
If they were in the packaging, the do not eat, and he just rips them open in front of people.
He did it. He did it.
That's funny. That would be really funny.
I seen it on one of his shorts, so that's how I know about it. Just through his shorts. But going back onto like the whole dreams and simulations and everything like that, I got a theory because I'm just kind of cooking it up, just listening to you guys conversate.
My dreams.
Shut up. It's a theory, motherfucker.
A game theory.
It's a game theory.
Oh,
But
that was putrid.
That's no, you're talking about hypothesis.
hypothesis.
There you go.
Hypothesis.
I wish I was high on pot news.
Pot news. No, you remember how you said like at the beginning of this about like maybe like 22 minutes in or something like that. You were talking about how we have amnesia.
Amnesia, yes.
Tribal amnesia is
Yeah.
what I would call it because it's tribal knowledge that we're forgetting.
Fuck out of here. Okay, hit my hand. Fuck you.
Okay, that reminds me of what. Okay,
Motherfucker. Yeah,
movie. We're talking about movies later.
Yeah,
on.
we're talking about movies later on. What if the dreams are you breaking through? If you didn't take DMT or something like that, what if that's like the memories that we have deep inside of us or something like that?
Like
Or
I think that's
ancestral memories.
I think that could be when you have a dream and it becomes real, it becomes lucid. Right?
Yeah, lucid dream.
So you have a
I think that's just when you're aware that it's a
Yes.
dream, and some people can manipulate it. Some are just aware of it.
that was one of the side effects from Bufo. They told me after I
They
did it,
just gave you crazy lucid dreams.
there was one. Okay, she told me the shaman told me you're gonna have like flashbacks, like an acid. I go, I've never done acid. Well, it's kind of like that. She said. It's like, I've never done that. So she said you're gonna have some flashbacks, but there's nothing to worry about. It's not really serious. I go okay, and then it just
You just flash back to like a Roman war, and you just
No,
on the
not that,
battlefield
not
and
like
all
that.
It's like she
Well-
just clips back. Don't take it seriously.
I had like I think like 3 of them.
What does this mean?
So what does this mean? The first one was I was like reading something. I was looking at porn on my phone, you know.
Yeah, as usual.
As one does.
As one
And
does.
so I take my glasses off, right? And I looked, and with these eyes, I saw multiple lenses. Like, whoa, okay, time to go to bed, right? And then that was like a week later. Then a couple days later, I had a dream where, just an ordinary dream. Oh, I'm in a house. Oh, walking around. Oh, I'm in the restroom. Oh, and then I see a mirror. Oh, it's a mirror. And then wow, the fucking thing was there. And then lucid.
What thing was there? So,
The fucking
The god
the
shape.
geometric
the
geometric form shape.
was it the seraphim or
The seraphim, yes.
Okay, okay.
Yes. So I'm in the house. Oh, this must be a restroom. I see a mirror, and I go in front of the mirror, and I'm doing this
Biblically
thing.
accurate.
And I was like, what? And then right there, it turned real.
So I do have a few experiences with lucid dreaming, but this was all before I even like ventured down the psychedelic path at all. And I kind of strayed away from it because like I gave myself sleep paralysis a few too many times. I'm like, this is not worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember one of the stories about that.
Yeah, the sleep paralysis demon things. Like I know they're not real, but you can't.
Those are all
You
okay.
can't convince the sensory like your brain
Yeah, you're
sensing this stuff. You can know in the back of your head this thing's not real because I'm experiencing sleep paralysis, but it's still there in front of you in that moment.
Okay, let me tell you. Okay. I was watching videos, right?
Yeah.
Going to bed, and there's a guy with his phone. He's filming a car at night, and a light comes down, and it's a UFO, right? And then it goes away, and I was like, "Oh, that's fake," you know. I'm watching it, and all of a sudden, I had a vision.
Nice grips.
I had a vision where I was in my car, my Dodge Charger, and I'm in the steering wheel, and
What year? What year's the Dodge Charger?
2008.
Gross.
Sexy. Gross.
I inherit. I should phrase it like this. I'm going to inherit a '70s Dodge Charger.
Ooh, that's even better. That's
Yeah.
even better.
I have we're talking about cars real quick. I'm just going to put this out there. I have a 1972 Ford Maverick.
Okay, I have a 1955 Plymouth Barracuda.
So I had this vision where I had my hands on the steering wheel, and I see the dashboard, and I see a green light, like a circle, like a light go through. A vision, just like that. I go, whoa, what the fuck was that? And it's like, okay, it's bullshit. I'm just making this up. I'm making it up. It's my imagination, whatever, right? And I go to bed, and I wake up freaked out. Fear. I fear fear. Is like, why am I scared? I fear fear. And okay, so first thing I do, I'm not gonna get up. I'm gonna put the blankets as my shield. All right.
That's the rules, bro.
That's the rules. And then I go, Texas, call my dog over. She comes in. She's there right away. Come on. And she jumps in the bed. And then she looks towards like to the back of the house. And she growls.
I don't like that.
I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, okay, yeah, there's something here. Right? Okay, now, it could be my neighbor feeding his cats at 4 a.m. Who knows? It could be a person who's walking between the houses. It could be anything. But the vision I got that there was some kind of evil thing outside my house, and I always do is like shields, like it's shields. You can't touch me, right? And so I just did that. I'm fucking asleep, man.
You put up a psychic barrier.
I put up a psychic barrier because I'm thinking Star Trek. Shields up, I'm thinking whatever. And the impression I got was that whatever was visiting me couldn't get in, could see me, just look at me, and you can't touch me. Like, fuck, you can't touch me. And it went away. That's the vision I got from that. I was like, man, I should write this down. This is fucking awesome material. I was like, it's all bullshit. It's all my imagination. But the fact that my dog growled.
Yeah, it could be that the dog was picking up your vibes and like you're scared of something, so it immediately looks the direction you're looking.
It definitely, dogs are like
could
that.
be that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. So maybe it was just me projecting it, or it was an alien that was trying to visit me and anally probe me again,
Again.
or something.
No, that was just me.
And so I don't know. So but that's a weird fucking vision I had. And I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, that was pretty cool. And I remember when I was sleeping in the living room, when I first moved into my house, I didn't use the back 2 rooms. I go, oh yeah, I got 2 rooms. I totally was living in the living room because I had AC. I had AC for that area only. And in the living room, I had my bed. I had a twin. And you look into the washroom, it's just a black,
Inky blackness
of
of the abyss.
blackness of the abyss. And I'm like looking at it, I was like, you don't scare me, right? And then I'm
not afraid of the dark.
and then I had a dream. I had a dream where this person who looked like me kept staring at me, and it was pissing me off. What the fuck you looking at, motherfucker? And but it looked like me, and I grabbed the motherfucker and I start choking him. Right? Start choking him, and I wake up and I'm choking the blanket. On my hands, it was like night terrors, right?
Yeah.
I'm fucking choking. I'm like, oh, I gotta relax. I gotta relax, man. And those are the weird dreams that I have.
Oh, talking about the sleep paralysis type stuff. Did I ever tell you the dream that I had? I told him about this.
Was it one of the Benadryl dreams?
I never did that. No. Actually, it's pretty weird.
Okay.
This is when I had my bed in a different place before I got my mini fridge and all that type of stuff in my room.
Outside the porch.
Yeah, outside the porch. Yeah, outside the porch. I sleep out there.
The rock tumbler.
Yeah, right next to the rock tumbler. But
It helps me sleep.
It helps me sleep like having a fan on.
well, you remember? Okay, just a sidetrack right quick. I own like this huge dime-looking lighter. At least my grandfather does. And
Your grandpa's cool as shit.
Yeah.
dude.
I showed you that. I sent you a video of that huge dime lighter. Do you remember that?
No.
Okay, whatever. But I bet the Rec Tumbler was playing in that video too. That thing is loud.
It's loud. Dude.
Yeah. Continuing on though, one of my
Helps me sleep.
one of my dreams is it was basically a still frame of like overlooking my bed, but you couldn't really see me until like I leaped out of bed to do this one action, and there was just like this shut up. There's this white
stuff. Yep.
it's like a ghost. It looked like one of those stereotypical ghosts,
Ectoplasm. Yep.
Yeah, shut up. It looked like man. Stop derailing me.
You're
all right?
telling your wet dream story. Okay?
Are we?
It's that-
What are we, women, talking about our dreams?
No, listen, because this goes back to Jacob's ladder, because that's when you told me about that. That
That's a
dream.
cool piercing. Don't Google it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So, when I was I had like a vision. I'm sleeping in bed and all that type of stuff, or I was lying in bed, whatever it was, and this entity or whatever it may be was in the same room as me, kind of like overlooking me or just looking at me or whatever. And I had a chair, not a chair, I don't know what it is. I'm going to call it a chair regardless. In my dream, I looked at it without even looking at it, because it was still like a still frame of like the cameras inside the wall looking out from the looking out for the wall over my bed, and I just leaped out and I just start fucking throwing haymakers on this entity or whatever it was, and I just start beating the shit out of it. Then I woke up instantly, and I was like, "That was a badass dream. Take that, sleep paralysis demon. Fuck you."
Oh, on the realm of crazy dreams, have you guys ever encountered the fractal bathroom?
What the hell are
Whoa,
you
tell me
talking
about that.
about?
Okay, maybe it's just me, but like, there's been times where it's like, I gotta take like a fucking shit, but I'm like dreaming. So it's like, oh man, I'm in high school. I'm looking for the bathroom, and I'm noticing as I'm walking into this bathroom is like, these are some weird fucking placements. Like stalls are not like fucking Euclidean. The fucking
You have the piss up there, shit over there.
Okay, it's nothing like super out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
It's just like, why would a toilet be set up right in front of a urinal? Like shit like that. It's all open to in some instances where it's like there's no stalls or anything. It's just a bunch of toilets in weird arrangements.
I think honestly, you just figure out how to solve pissing and shitting at the same time.
Were you in India?
Yeah.
So it will be like some kind of like liminal space where it's like a public restroom or bathroom. Yeah, literally. But like, I just really got to shit. And I'm like looking for the spot. And like, right as I'm about to shit, I wake up. But it's like, I'll spend too much time trying to pick like a good toilet. There's other people in the bathroom sometimes too, which is like, it's even weirder. Like, what is even going on here? What is the arrangement? Why is this bathroom so fucking obscuredly laid out? And I won't I used to have my brain trained up to where I would catch these things and I'd be like, oh, I'm dreaming. I don't do that anymore. So I'm just like, God, I really got to shit. I don't care why all these toilets are arranged like this.
So you ever seen that green text meme? That's basically what he did. He woke up, he took a shit, and he got out of bed. That's what he did.
If you shit in your dreams, you shit in real life.
Yes.
I'm not speaking from experience because I always wake up. I'm not speaking from experience, but if you shit in your dreams, you shit in real life.
Your friends will never forget that.
Yeah,
They'll never
forget
invite you to
that.
a dream party again.
Yeah,
You'll
man.
shit your pants.
Yeah.
Like, no, man,
So
you
yeah, that's
shit-
my weird rant
diaper.
there. Fractal bathrooms.
Yeah, going back on
Wow.
that was the name of the movie, right? Jacob's Ladder.
You're talking about
that is a
when the
movie.
demons, when you're being dragged away.
Yeah, because you were because that was the whole point when I brought up that dream. You're like, maybe what you done you shouldn't have done to that entity. You should have like embraced that entity or whatever it was. And then you pulled up a clip from Jacob's Ladder, him talking about when he was sitting in a barber's chair, right, with the barber, and the barber was talking to him about
His chiropractor.
Yeah, it was chiropractor.
Yeah.
They have a license to kill you.
Shut up.
I'm serious.
I know you do. Just shut up. All right.
You know,
Just go
speed
ahead.
this up. So basically,
You tell it. You tell it.
when you're being dragged away and you resist, they're demons. But if you go with them, they're angels.
Oh, so it's just like passing on to the next life. It's something
Yeah.
related to
If
that.
you resist.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the movie. I just know that's a movie.
It's the same thing with DMT. If you resist dying, that's the idea. So that's the problem that William had, the Marine. He kept resisting, and he had a bad time. And yeah, he told me like it wasn't until like, wow, what's going on with this guy? And he said some serious issues. I understand why. Like I can say I understand. I wasn't fucking there. I didn't see what he saw, but I get it. Like I always think of how would I fucking respond to that?
Well, you would know more than us.
Imagine if
No, I don't. I just have more experience. That's all it
Yeah,
is.
well-
Just imagine going into an experience like that though, but with no prior warning and like no respect for what you're doing. It's just
Yeah.
one day you just like take some weird substance with your buddies, and then now you're seeing like other dimensional beings from your perspective, like unexplainable events are
See,
happening.
that's what I wanted to. The reason why I did it was because. What's wrong?
Yeah, don't worry about it. I'm looking for something.
Because that I studied for like 6 months before I watched all these videos. I read a little bit more about it too, and it was all based on DMT, straight up DMT from what's the guy? There's another professor who did it in the 70s and they shut it down, and so they're doing DMT intravenously.
Ah.
That would have been fucking awesome.
CIA was doing stuff like
Yeah.
that, and if you
Yeah.
really get into the weeds on that, well, it's all non-official type stuff, but
Yeah.
it's like alleged. It could be
They did.
deliberate misinformation put out to throw off the Russians type deal, but
Yeah.
essentially they were forming pacts with these other dimensional beings
Okay.
for forbidden technology, and that's
Okay.
what they were doing when they were intravenously.
Okay, so
tripping.
the reason why I did the trip report too was because I was studying because I wanted to know as much about it as possible because I wasn't really sure, like, man, is this the right? It just felt right. It called to me, and it has to call to you first. So I ran across this video, and all these professors, scientists, I guess, they were talking about entities. And I go, huh? What? And I started listening, and they're saying that it's odd how every person who does DMT, either be in 5-MeO or ayahuasca, they're two different DMTs, and NDMT and 5-MeO. DMT in general, that entities appear. So what's up with that? So that's what that's what the trip reports were about. That they're basically trying to catalog, they're trying to understand this, they're trying to map it out basically.
Mm-hmm.
So when I saw that video, I was like, yeah, okay, now you got my interest. Really got my interest now. And so for me, I studied, and I was listening to shaman, because shaman are going to know, like when they ask, like, how did you know to combine the vine with the leaf? But the vine has a DMT, but the leaf stops your stomach from destroying it, right? So that's how it works. Is when they cook it, when they boil it for hours. And so they say the plants told us this. It's like, shit, what's up with that? So that goes in, and I think there's a connection to the Greek mysteries that before that Soma-Ra, that, and you look at the Egyptian, there's a blue lotus that had psychedelic effects too. Mm-hmm. The spiked wine in the Greek mysteries at Elysium.
And Paul Stamets talked about the berserkers on that podcast. Where, taking the.
So I think there's a connection to all that, and so I think the spiked wine that was lost from the Greeks when the Romans took over, that it started to show up again in the Amazon through ayahuasca. I think they don't know how far back it goes, but that's basically that got my attention. So I studied, and then the shaman were basically saying how they're trying to map it. I was trying to map it out too, because I want to know where the hell I'm going. And after it's basically, if you see, when you're there, don't let anything go into your mouth. If it tries to go into your butt, don't let it go. That's what they said. That don't let it go in your butt. If you want to, go ahead, but don't. That's what they said. And then
what?
Yeah, that's what. No, this is advice from the shamans, the ones that have done ayahuasca for a million times.
They said if you want to let it go in your butt,
you let it if you want to. If not, don't let it happen.
Just don't let it go in your mouth.
Yeah, no. Listen, don't, if you try to drink something when you're there or anything, don't let it go into your mouth. That's you don't know what you're getting into. Okay. And the other thing was, if you see any sharp creatures with sharp fangs and claws, try to steer away from them. There's just simple advice.
Good advice in general.
So
yeah.
I couldn't tell William that. I studied it because I wanted to study it. He's there because and that's why he was there. Mm-hmm. And so he had because I'm telling you, when the ayahuasca part was because everyone was trying to heal. Right, he was there because of that. The Indian guy, because he procrastinated. It's probably his wife's problem. But and the other chubby girl, because she ate too much, and other rapes, and Jesus Christ, all kinds of shit that's happening. Another veteran Asian guy who cut himself with a knife in his face. Like that's self-inflicted pain, literally, man. Mm-hmm. So, and what was I there for? To obtain ancient knowledge. That's the reason why I was there. And so it changed for me. Changed. I wasn't given a vision, and that's what I was terrified of that too, because like, oh fuck, what I fucked up. Mother Aya didn't want to show me anything. No, I had another job there, and that was to help him heal. That's why I was there. So I studied, but I couldn't tell William, you have to die.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to convey that without like.
If somebody told me that when I did Bufo, I don't know if I would have done it, but it wasn't explained to me that way. But it's okay because it's going to happen.
It seems like when you had I'll call it ego death.
Yes,
for that moment.
I had an ego death, man.
When you had that, you didn't go through the phases of denial or any of that. You just immediately was like, "Yep, I'm here." Acceptance.
Cut the anchor. That's what I did.
And some people are not wired to do that.
And I've heard Alex Jones talk about it. And I was like, this guy is gonna fucking suffer, because again, you have to let go.
I was about to ask you, would have been better instead of like say you have to die? Would it be like you have to let go? Would that have been better if you would have told William that, like, you have to let go? I
don't know if it would have been. I don't know, man.
Because you're not telling him that that you have to die. It's more like you have to let go.
It took like a week or two to get a hold of him finally and talk to him for like 2-3 hours on the phone. Like, what did you see, dude? And his whole thing, he went on and on and on. And he basically described it as he was a space marine fighting chaos. That's what he said. He was on the edge of the galaxy, warding off chaos.
Huh.
And the one time he said too, he goes, "Remember that tree behind us?" I go, "Yeah." That tree came down as like death and dragged me away. And I thought of you, and you're my anchor. I go, "No, man."
You didn't want to be anchored in that moment. You should let the tree take you.
And we know what's weird. When he told me that, he kept moving. He kept moving, squirming, and moving back. That's what he was fucking visualizing while it was happening. I saw him doing that. It's like, man, this guy's having a bad trip, man. He's gonna have a hard time. He can't let go. He can't let go. He's fighting. You're a Marine. Fight. Don't give up. No fear.
That's what you're trained, yeah.
Fear, fight. That's what he does. That's what he was doing. I was like, fuck, man. But I couldn't tell him. I couldn't. And the very last moment he had there, he heard God. But it was like a wind. He heard God. That's what he told me. I was like, what do you mean you heard God? Like, did he say anything? It was the wind. I go, I got it. I understand. Yeah, I get it. So yeah, man. It's pretty fucking powerful, man. It's if you're in a good place, do it. But again, if you resist, you're gonna have a bad trip. But even a bad trip's a good trip too. The craziest story. There's one crazy story I heard that in Brazil they do it like every fucking day. 200 people doing it a day.
Yikes.
And there was one girl that, and then that's another girl. Okay, so one girl did it, and you have to, what's your intent? There's always an intent. They ask you, what's your intent? Now, you don't have to tell me that when you get there, you know what your intent is. Her intent was, show me all death. Like, why the fuck would you say that?
All death?
Yeah.
That's what she said. And it was so bad that they had to pull her out of the circle. That's how bad it was. And this guy who saw that happen, later, like years later, he thought, hey, you're the one that got, how was it? He goes, the best thing I ever experienced in my life. Experiencing all death. Man, don't ask that, man, because you're going to be shown it.
I mean,
not only do you, if you ask a question, Mother Eye is going to show you what you need to see, not what you want, is what you need. And so, like this, the reason why they go to Mexico is because they do Ibogaine. Ibogaine is illegal here in the States. So when Sean Ryan did Ibogaine, that was a pretty incredible story, but he did Bufo too, like I did. And what shocked me was that he was scared. I was braver than him. Like, what? It's a fucking SEAL. He was terrified. And then I was like, no, I'm ready. I'm ready. Like, I was ready to when I was convinced that I was dead, I'm here now. I let I was like, oh, my shit. Oh, my family. Nope, I'm here now. I cut that anchor. And that's when the Seraphim let me in. And then the galaxy and the universe and all that shit too. And my intent was to show me the beginning. That's what that was. And then ayahuasca was to obtain ancient knowledge. And then love is what I found.
I was just thinking, like, what if you went there and you're like, show me the end?
Oof.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to see that.
Black holes evaporating.
Everything.
Imagine like being able to comprehend the heat death of the universe, though. Ugh. Even for like that split second when you're like tripping balls.
Yeah, man.
That's not something I would want to experience.
No.
We will eventually.
Yeah, eventually, but
yeah, but you
I don't
just
think
want
I'd
to know.
willingly do it.
Yeah, it's all connected, man. It's all connected, interlinked.
Interlinked.
I guess I don't know if we explained why we call ourselves Chromosome 2. This is
Yeah,
I'm getting that's what the whole history part I'm doing is where we get to it eventually.
Yeah.
50 million years.
Yeah, we I think in the first episode, especially in the description as well as at the end, which you did.
Yeah, we announced that we are different name.
Yeah, we
that was
changed.
good. Actually, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Beep at the end.
And one of the episodes too, we actually took a deep dive into exactly what the names were supposed to be and exactly what the purpose was of each name and everything, especially with interlinked. And then I think one of the episodes, you will see me sitting right here trying to figure out what names have been taken, what to
Do
go
it
with.
live.
I think that was
doing
the
it
first one.
live.
Which
Yeah.
yeah, first one's up. We uploaded it right before
Yeah.
recording this one. So hopefully by the time this one comes out, we'll know what we're doing.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this just send it.
Yeah, we got the
Yeah.
tools now too. We've been slowly upgrading.
We're
between
getting
each podcast.
getting better.
So
I
already,
think,
dude. We're getting better.
I think if we continue on with this name and everything,
Chromosome
it,
2.
it would basically
I like the picture you put. That's good.
yeah.
that was like a last minute. Like we need to have something other than a
Yeah.
giant C.
No, that's good. That was good.
So basically, it was going. Like the whole purpose of this is probably to talk more about like human genealogy and all that type of
Everything,
stuff.
yeah.
Everything that has to do with like the human biology or anatomy, or whatever. Not anatomy, but whatever.
Oh, we'll get into it now.
Yeah. But in all seriousness, I think that should be the running thing. Within the rest of it should be things that we want to talk about. Like we just did that.
It's everything. Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. It's consciousness, philosophy, and politics. Like that's.
I think I should have put that one of the tags on the first
Oh,
video.
there you go.
Consciousness.
Yeah,
I
put
should
those
have
in
done that. That would have been smart, honestly. But I haven't.
Yeah.
Can you add them later?
Yeah, I can.
Add those three.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I think that's the main thing. Is that. Yeah, it's just layers and layers of information.
With that being said, we're gonna put it not in the end that we're gonna end this segment with talking about all that type of stuff.
Movies.
Yeah, the movies. We're moving on to movies. And we're gonna move on to say the name.
What?
The thing. Say
The thing.
yeah. Say the
The thing? The
the
movie,
director
The Thing?
Jack Carpenter's The Thing. We're gonna move on to
John
that.
Carpenter's
John,
The Thing.
Not Jack. My apologies. I'm so
I
sorry.
was
John.
so lost there. I did not know what you were trying to get me to say.
Did you know that when we were watching like behind the scenes, and it's audio commentary on the movie, who's the guy? The actor
Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell. When he throws a stick of dynamite, that was a real stick of dynamite.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
real. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's badass.
I know. It's like, what the
Back
hell?
when they used to do their own stunts.
Yeah.
Holy
what
crap.
He
was it?
threw like a quarter.
It was the Windows thing, right? The Windows thing just burst out the side of the building, and then he just like fucking throws the real dynamite at it. And he's from what he said, it sounded like that he felt it go through him. And I was like, dude,
it's
that.
probably just a shockwave.
Yeah, I was gonna say like that motherfucker took shrapnel.
No.
What do you
No,
mean?
it's the air blast.
Yeah, I know.
He said if it went through me, it's like pieces. went
Most
through me.
people, like, if it's explosives that don't have shrapnel and the explosion kills them, it's not from like debris flying. It's the literal shock wave
Yeah.
causing their chest to like, compress.
Dude, that's
he said that he felt something go past his face.
Yeah, something flew.
So
yeah,
when he said
too.
that, then he followed up with like it felt like things were going through me, and I was like, it's either that he did get hit by shrapnel or not. But it was still a cool scene to see, especially after you showed me that animation.
Oh yeah.
You have to send it to me.
I said yeah. It's
I can edit it
Frozen.
in. Frozen?
The Frozen. The cartoon
Yeah.
with the thing. I'll show.
It was
God.
claymation.
Okay.
It's really good. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I want to see that, but
Those fucking couch.
I'm gonna have to put up that scene of him throwing the dynamite.
Yeah. That's really good.
Oh yeah, but there's some pretty interesting theories about the thing, especially with Kurt Russell's character.
Okay, the ending.
Yeah,
okay.
the ending. Yes.
If you haven't seen it, fuck you. We're gonna spoil it.
Yeah.
So that really like blew my mind because there's this guy. Oh man, we should give him the credit for watching it. It was like 2 hours long.
It was Poltergeist, I think. I sent it to you.
Poltergeist?
No.
The
I
guy
sent
who
it to
did a
you. I'll check it real quick.
2-hour fucking breakdown of the thing.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
send it to
I want to give
me,
him credit. Yeah.
and I'll hunt it down
Yeah.
in the editing process.
So at the end, he basically was saying, because when I watched it, I was like, I don't care. It's just a movie, whatever. But I always thought that they're both human. Kurt Russell and is it Childs? Childs, the character Childs and McCready, right? Mm-hmm. And so there's two. They're both human, or one's an alien. Got it.
Send it to me.
So
I
one.
already did.
Okay, then why are you showing me?
So
Tell me because his name is Poltergeist.
Yep.
So one's either Childs is an alien and Kurt Russell is a human, or it's the other way around. That's the other. So they're both aliens, or one is the other, or they're both human. Yeah, both human, or one's an alien, one's a human, and the other one is they're both aliens.
And
they're-
it's human nature infecting
and
them.
human nature affected them with paranoia.
That's crazy to think about.
And I was like, whoa, mind blown. I was like, dude, and And the fact that the director and the commentary didn't want to, the director wanted McCready to be the alien, right?
Kurt Russell's character.
Kurt Russell's character. But he said, nah, let's not do that. So it was real ambiguous. It's like, no, it's perfect. Because that's what you don't want to
I like
explain.
the open ending.
The open ending makes it, that's why it's a cult classic.
It just makes it to where you can't make a sequel.
Yes. You shouldn't make it. Leave it alone. Leave it the fuck alone.
Oh.
But that was really good where he said that they're both aliens and that humans, or human mind infected them.
That is a crazy way to think.
And that is like, yeah, we got him. We got him.
Haha.
Haha, we win.
Even if aliens like infect our bodies or something like that, we're going to infect you back. That's how human nature is.
Yeah,
the,
we got AIDS.
the stars belong to us, motherfucker.
We have AIDS.
Okay.
Clip it.
They shall
Clip
know
it.
no fear.
Just to continue on, if anybody brings up the eye gleam stuff, just shut up.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Especially with the.
No, he pointed all those out. Like,
yeah.
no.
The eye,
Especially-
what's the eye gleam?
They're when they're all tied to the couch and some had a gleam. Dude, even the guy who was the alien had gleam in his eye. It's bullshit. It's bullshit theory. Because again, not even the actors knew. When Childs says, "If I was an alien, wouldn't I do exactly what a human would do anyway?"
If I was a perfect imitation.
It's perfect imitation. And he said that, and the actor's like, "Are you an alien?" I go, "I don't know, dude. Are you?" I don't know. No one knew who was the alien. Nobody knew. And that's what's cool, because like, wait a minute. They read the script, they get the part, they get the whole fucking they get everything. And the director's not going to tell them. And the director probably kept it to himself that McCready was going to be the alien the entire time, but he said, "No, this is good. We'll do away with that." But it makes him look like he's the alien, but he's not. Well, we don't know. I think they're both aliens. That's what I think at the end. Because the idea that the human paranoia infected them, then we win. I don't
think anybody wins.
I don't think anybody wins, but then we win maybe,
There was also the fact that if McCready was one of the things is that he was the perfect one.
Yes.
Especially with that
Perfect
scene,
imitation.
Yeah, with the scene where he has that flamethrower going on. He just like that hot air or gas, whatever it was, and just heating up that wire. And he's like, I already know. I forgot.
I'm going to tell you what I already know.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you what I already know. And then he just sticks it in, and you see like the blood kind of evaporates because of the hot. Not all of it, but like a certain.
They're doing the
part.
blood test,
Yeah, they're doing the
basically.
blood test. The guy Poltergeist, he while watching his video, he's like, that's probably just to show the rest of the things in the room that he's the perfect one, because he can control his own blood from not escaping from the petri dish.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is some baller moves right there. Like
it's really
you're trying to show your inferiors that you're superior by doing the blood test.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
by
were
the
all
way,
just aliens the whole time.
yeah. By the way, just make sure, like, if your homies are acting weird, do the blood test.
Do the blood test.
Yeah.
Do the blood test. Really, really good breakdown there. I never thought of it that way. It's really neat when fans do it. Like, what's this, like 30 years after the fact? Like, goddamn.
Well, you told me the I guess I want to say the fundamentals of listening to the commentary over the movie.
Oh yeah, that's way. I'd watch a movie. That's the one thing I miss about DVDs is that I'd watch a movie and I'd go back and let it play and just turn the volume up where I can hear the commentary, because that to me was like just as entertaining as the movie itself. That's why I felt about it. But you can't get that now. You're not going to get that on DVDs anymore.
I wouldn't even know where to look to find
Where
director's
you couldn't.
commentary
Yeah,
and that kind of
you're
stuff.
not going to find that.
The only way is if they
DVD?
release a DVD, but
That's the only way.
Yeah.
they don't do that.
Unless somebody
anymore.
rips it and puts it on YouTube. That's what the guy was doing.
Yeah.
He was putting small clips in there. And I was telling him about my buddy that did in the movie Beatdown.
Yeah, beat down.
When he was in Beatdown, he was the fight promoter that was going to have the kid from Apocalypto.
Yeah,
actor,
the main
to throw
actor.
to throw the
take
fight.
Take a dive.
And I was listening to the commentary after we watched the movie, and the girl, she had big tits, right? And she's real pretty. And my buddy goes, he does this. Now picture this. He goes like that to them, right? He goes, you don't throw this fight, I'm gonna fuck titties here, right in front of you. And I was like, damn, Louise, you why are you being so mean? But he is nowhere near that, right? And so when you listen to the commentary, the girl responds, "Oh, this is the infamous scene." I like to inform everyone that we were not acting here. We were just responding to what he was telling us. And they were like, damn, and it
So
just
that was
like,
improvised. That's fine.
yeah, it was, they were like, whoa, pretty heavy. Yeah, it was pretty awesome. So that was really neat to see. And he almost didn't do that movie too. He had called me up. We were rehearsing our small short film we were doing with Aaron Quinn Haskins from Bama. We're doing a film from him, and he goes, I'm not going to go. I go, what do you mean you're not going to go? Well, they didn't send me an email. I go, bullshit. He goes, no, I forgot how. So his wife called me. Hey, they called saying they want Luis down at the set. I go, which one? The Beatdown movie. I was like, okay, he's on his way to my house right now. He's going to need wardrobe probably. Okay, look, when I get a hold of him, I'm going to go to the set. 'Cause I know where they were filming. I'm going to go to the set and let him know he might be late, but he'll be here tonight. And they weren't going to use him until like maybe 2 or 3 in the morning, probably like 1 in the morning. So he got to my place. I go, hey, your wife called me because we didn't have cell phones back then. Mm-hmm. Your wife called me saying that they want you down to set. I go, I'm not going to do it. Why? He goes, well, they're not being professional. I was like, fuck you. Get your ass, go home, get your fucking wardrobe, get your ass to the set. I'll drive over there, and I'll tell him you're going to be late. I goes, all right. He was like that. And I didn't have a Google phone. I didn't have that. So I called my brother in the Valley, right? Mm-hmm. I go, yo, man, give me the location of this address. He told me where it was. I found it. And I had to use my brother as a GPS, basically, because we didn't have it back then. And I found the location. I knew where it was at. He gave me the address. I knew where it was at. Oh, it's a power plant, the water power plant in Austin. That's where they filmed Idiocracy, too. So we went there. And, I told him no. I was like, hey, who's the PA here? And they go, oh, they're over there. I'm like, hey, you the main PA? He goes, yeah. Your actor, Luis Admira, he's a friend of mine. He got the email late. He'll be here, but he will be here. Okay, well, thanks, man. Thanks a lot. We appreciate it. So I just waited around until he got there. And then he did the scene, nailed it. He fucking he rehearsed for it and everything, got it all done. He wasn't going to do it. I go, and I look at him when we watch the movie. It's like, you weren't going to fucking do this, you motherfucker. Like, no, you get, so I saved him to stay in that movie, basically. You keep your ass, you're going to go to this fucking movie. You're going to nail it.
It was either that or going to take your kneecaps.
Yeah. So that was a really, really interesting thing he did. That was pretty cool. But yeah, that's that's pretty cool stuff. But movies. Yeah.
Yeah. I think if I ever watch a movie on a DVD again, I'll probably pull that up, pull out some commentary about it.
The other thing I wanted to bring up about movies was remember we talked about amnesia, right? That humans have amnesia. Yeah. And I know that here I go again, fucking terrible with names. Hancock. Hancock was talking about the ancient civilizations, like humans have amnesia. And I've been watching Silo. Mm-hmm. So Silo, if you've ever seen it, it's a show about silos underground that are a mile deep, right? Mm-hmm. 144 levels. And there's 10,000 people in these silos, right?
Goddamn.
And
I don't think we can fit that many here.
Yeah, no, that's not many here. So it's a really cool show. I like it. They're on season 2 right now. And what's really neat is that they have amnesia because they don't know. One of the characters passes away in it, and I'm not gonna say who, but it was really interesting to hear her say, what did they do to lose this? Because she's about to die, and they put a VR. Now they don't know what VR helmets are, so he puts a VR helmet on her head, and he goes, "Okay, look, you ever heard of the so and so of Costa Rica?" And he goes, "No." And so he's showing her in the VR. He's seen it so many times, he knows exactly where to look. I go, look up. Okay, you see that right there, that creature? That's a monkey. That's a so and so monkey, macaque monkey, whatever. And it's gonna jump to the next branch. And she goes, oh, she's freaking out because she's seeing it, right? And she's dying. And they go, look down to here. You see that little green thing? That's a frog, a poisonous frog. It's green because of camouflage, and the bright colors show that it's dangerous, it's poisonous. She's like that, looking at that. And she said, look at the top. Come sit down. And she sits down, she's looking up, and she sees all these birds flying around. She's like, oh, that's so beautiful. And then and she's about to die because she poisoned her, right? And then she goes to him, what did they do to lose this? What did they do? We've been here. They have no idea how long they've been in the silo. No fucking idea. What did they do? They have amnesia, right? Mm-hmm. And so I always think about that when it comes to religion, when it comes to history. We have amnesia. We can't keep information long enough. We fucking forget. And the same thing with Dune. Dune, they don't know where Earth is at.
Yeah.
It's we don't know where we originate in Africa. We have an idea, but we don't remember. You go back, that's 17,000 BC, Magdalenian culture. I'm convinced that those are my ancestors. Southern France, northern Spain. That's where my grandpa was at, like way back then. My lineage is from that. Mm-hmm. And we don't have stories of that. We've lost it. And then there's burials we've lost, right? Like when I did genealogy, I'm meeting 13th cousins that we didn't know were related. Same last surname, but we're related. 13, that's like 500 years, 502 years to 1523. We have amnesia. So what that always kind of like, that hurts when I hear that. It bums me out, but I like it when movies do it because, like, you see, this is why I do this. This is why I do genealogy. This is why I do research, because and this is why I want to do the podcast. Like, how do we keep this knowledge fresh? You know, that kind of thing. So it's like,
since we have like a lossless or relatively lossless way of storing data now, we can have time to do all that.
And now, I'm telling you now, it's a time now where I've learned more on the internet than I have in school, man.
Yeah, I think that's everybody's experiencing now. Is
it's amazing.
Instead of like going to a school that'll make you take a whole bunch of like useless classes you're not going to fucking use ever, just to get the few that you are going to use. You can just learn from an Indian man on YouTube and teach you in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, is he teaching you up to code? Maybe not. Is he teaching you how to get from point A to point B the quickest way, potentially? Yeah.
How the Indian engineers, like guys working in a
I have seen a lot of those videos, and to be fair, it's bare bones. Like, they were taught a process, and then they stick to that process.
Yeah, man.
And there's a lot of... It is impressive. But
Unsafe.
because my background coming from a machine shop, I see so many places where it's like, dude, your tolerance is going to be off now. You did, that's not going to be, nope, not perfect. Because I'm so used to doing everything like, if there's like within a 32nd of an inch off, got to scrap it.
Yeah, you're so used to code, being up to code.
Well, that's the reason why they didn't.
Code.
I know that that people here in this part of the country, they're metal workers, they're fabricators, and they refuse to take anything from China. They don't want nothing from China.
Yeah, my company does take metal from China, so I'll throw that out there. It's just...
So do they test it? Is it the par? It's workable.
Depends on what it's for. Like, we don't do a lot of structural stuff. The stuff that we do, we don't get that from China.
Yeah. Okay.
That's if it's like critical infrastructure or stuff like that, we cannot, like, there's laws against that kind of stuff. It has to be sourced from somewhere where there can't be a middleman attack. So
in country.
Yeah,
because like as you can see with like there was like a big hack where it was just like a tiny little dot on this huge ass controller, like electrical circuit that was being sold from China, and this one little dot was actually a little chip that was a backdoor
Motherfucker.
for China to get in and influence and then see what this device is doing, what it's running. Yeah.
Who caught that?
Some guy who was auditing the board was like, what does this chip do?
Fucking good for him. He should get a fucking raise for that.
For real. But I think they still got data and all sorts of stuff, so it was still a successful attack.
Fucking.
But it's a good thing we caught it.
That's the shit I'm talking about, man. It's in their culture to steal.
I think it has to do with the governing body, because what communism lacks for in creativity, it can steal from the other. It can parasitically live off of the other civilization, the Western civilizations, where we don't have that command economy where we can flip on a dime if we need to do something. We're slow as shit when it comes to that, but
hopefully that'll be
we
changed
have
soon,
we have the ability to adapt a lot faster than an authoritarian governing style.
That's the one thing I've noticed about like these like especially China and like India and all these other countries. Like they try to replicate what we did here in the States. You can't. You this is
it's like pick and pull capitalism. Like they'll use it where they can still have their finger on the scale.
But you can't. There's no other Silicon Valley. There's only one.
Yeah.
And they can't reproduce that. You just don't have it in your DNA. It's not a racial thing. It's basically, that's the one thing I noticed about Latin American countries, like from Mexico down south. Like the problem with those countries, and the reason they have a problem with socialism and communism down there, is they don't the landowners don't have property rights. Like they don't. It all stayed with the nobles. And shit.
I think that's something. If you break down like Marxism down to its most bare bones, it's just an abolition of private property.
Yep, that's what it is, man.
If people don't have private property, they're not going to have anything.
What's their
to
fucking incentive?
right? Yeah.
Your property? Do you mean our property?
Yeah, fuck that. And then they don't have that. That's the reason why. And then they'll never they'll learn eventually. Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's one of those like where there's light, there's dark type deals. I think that it's like what's that fucking saying where it's like the price for freedom is eternal vigilance. That where when there's free men, there's always going to be people who want to take away that freedom.
Yeah.
And it's our jobs to make sure that
Call it out.
call it out, expose it to the light.
That's the reason. Like seeing, I'm telling you, man, the politics have changed to where if you want to run for any kind of office, or especially presidency, you have to be on a podcast. You have to do a long form.
Oh yeah, there's
You have to.
talks. I think Timcast he's in talks with several big like companies now. From what he's alluding to, yeah. But there is a thing that came out where it's like Rupert Murdoch of Fox News was looking into like purchasing podcasts or like syndicating them, like putting them on their network. Which I'm not opposed to that. I mean,
If they understand that you have to let the fucking person who's doing the podcast give them free.
exactly, there has to be those like hard limits of like creative freedom.
Yep.
And what the network's willing to allow. I think the idea of like the podcast continues to make and operate the same. It's just that where you release the content.
Yeah.
But even that's a form of gatekeeping too, because say you say something on an episode that they don't want getting out, they could just pull the whole episode.
See, that's and that's what Spotify did to Joe Rogan too. They were doing
they
they're
wanted
pulling
to-
that shit.
Yep.
But it all went back. That's not, it's like truth will withstand time. It always does. You know, if you have I was talking to my brother about this, about good ideas and shitty ideas. Like, yeah, if you have a shitty idea, it's gonna sink, and if it's a good idea, it's gonna float. You know, it's a good idea.
But on the counter side of that, I've never seen this clip from Star Trek, but I've heard it several times described, where it's like the 4 dots or the 4 lines.
Yeah.
And they tell
There
Picard,
are 4 lights.
He tases the shit out of him every time. I know that was directly pulled.
Yeah.
I showed you that, right?
Yeah, you showed me that.
That was pulled from 1984, I'm thinking. Where he's saying like,
How many lights do you see?
Man,
yeah.
I need to read that
Or-
fucking book. I need to.
1984.
Yeah.
it's a good read.
Yeah.
I think it should. I think that should be. So you know how they make us do the Crucible in school? That was public
I
school.
never did that.
Never.
I at least
Okay.
I don't remember doing
Well, everyone I've talked to goes to public school. They make you listen to the Crucible in school, and I only remember afterwards because like I was thinking about this, like, goddamn, yeah, we were forced to read that, and it was essentially it was brought up to us at the time as well. That like this is basically McCarthyism. We're explaining that like you see sometimes there's witch hunts for these groups of people that aren't actually there and they're not actually witches, and it's like the difference there is like the fucking the witches may not have been real, but the fucking communists were. They were all over fucking Hollywood, and they still are to this day.
Fucking cocksucker.
Yeah.
And they infected the school so bad that we were taught from that lens of how to look at it. Like, don't go looking for the boogeyman. The boogeyman's not real. In some instances, yes, the boogeymen are real.
Yes. What I was forced to read in high school was How to Kill a Mockingbird. I think
To Kill a Mockingbird. That's
Did
a
they
good
kill a
one.
Mockingbird? Yeah, that was a good one. And
Sequel sucked. No, they did make us. The lady wrote a second book like year or decades later.
oh yeah, I didn't know that.
I think it was a
Is that
lady.
the lawyer? I went to the lawyer thing.
It was a lawyer. He was trying.
Yeah.
He was proceeding over. Not proceeding. My bad. That is the wrong term. He was. I thought you were going to say something.
You're gonna
No,
smack
no, I
him.
was-
You're
I
gonna
was-
smack him, right?
I was leaning to fart.
Okay. Church house creeper, bro. Church
gonna
house
smack him.
creeper.
No, I know how to actually like make them silent. So you see, I don't get picked up by the mic.
He has
I'm stealthy.
He has 100% control over his colon.
Yes.
And his sphincter. No. What was I saying? Yeah. It was basically a lawyer trying, helping this black man out.
Boo Radley.
What?
Boo Radley was his name.
Boo Rat. Oh yeah. Dude,
That's
it's been
why.
so- it's
That's the
been so
part I
long.
remember.
I saw
from
the
that book.
movie.
Hey,
Yeah, I think we
there
watched it
was.
too in
Yeah,
school.
it's.
My grandfather showed me that.
I'm just gonna. I'm just gonna say it like.
No,
that-
let me get the button ready if you're gonna say it.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Scared me.
This is not reading time, okay?
Yeah,
It
that was my favorite part. Is like Kansas having turns reading. No one had any hesitations.
No hesitation whatsoever.
The
Just-
hardest of ours when we're reading the book.
yeah,
in
so,
school.
like they never censored the word.
Yeah, because we're
So in the book, they never censored.
it was
the
to teach
word.
us about racism. So
Yeah,
that's what people would refer to black people as back then. So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was part of the book. So learning.
mm-hmm.
But
The
we just
gamer
thought it was
word.
really funny to say slurs in school, so we did it. We read it like that.
Well, like Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
I resent. It was funny. It was, okay, that's what I'll be saying when you put me in the electric chair.
It's
Yeah.
familyism.
When I'm in
not
the electric chair and
racism.
they're about to flip the switch, it's like, you have any regrets? Nope, it was funny.
I have normal beliefs.
Nope. Hovering over the button.
No. I'm not saying that. No. But I think that having that, I think they were trying to get that banned, right?
So book banning is you can lie real easy to where, okay, they're trying to ban the book Mouse. The way I phrased it there, do you hear how I phrased it? They're trying to ban the book Mouse so that way kids don't learn about the Nazis.
Yeah. The mice
No.
are the Jews and the cats are the
The
mice.
I think I
reason-
have that actually.
Okay,
comic book.
yeah. The book,
Yeah.
it just needed one little edit. And I remember this because I checked it out in school because one of my buddies told me, yo, there's tits in here.
Huh?
The book has illustrations. It's a graphic novel depicting the Nazis and the
Were they
as
cats?
like cats.
Cats and dogs. Yeah, cats and
the
mice.
as
Yeah.
the Jews.
Yeah.
And there's this one specific page where there's this fucking like female mouse or cat. I don't fucking remember because it's been so long, but just had her titties out. And I was like, yo, that's cool. That's what they edited. That's what they took out of the book. And they were saying it was banned. No, they just edited out the fucking unnecessary nudity.
I was going to say, remember what they took from you? That
Yeah,
stupid,
remember
that stupid
they took
joke.
the mouse/cat titties from you.
Remember what they did in Space Jam 2? What they took from us?
Versus the other book bannings where they're saying, oh, they're trying to ban this book that help kids that are confused about their gender.
Oh,
No, this
fuck
book
off.
is
Yeah.
directly explaining how to like indulge in very nasty, like unhinged kinks like scat play and like stuff like that.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Teaching kids how to consume scat in a safe way.
I think,
Scat?
Poopy.
yeah, stool,
Eat it?
feces.
Reverb fart sound effect. Go.
No, you don't have it.
I don't have it on the soundboard, but I have it in editing. Do it again. One more time for good measure.
Yeah, there we go.
All right,
yeah.
yeah, that was good. That was good.
No, but
Wow.
that needs to stop.
That was in books in public schools for kids that could check it out as young as like 5 years old.
That should not be in the library. For
In
those
a
kids.
public like city library, sure, with
Yeah.
restrictions on who can check that stuff out, like adults. Kids, absolutely not.
Hell no.
So yeah, the whole book banning thing, like I sit on the fence where it's like I don't like censorship, but obviously we can't have like that kind of stuff getting into the hands of children or like trading of that kind of material. That kind of stuff needs to be censored.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think at a high school level, at least, not that weird shit. I'm just gonna say that. I'm gonna say that now, but it's a good idea to keep like How to Kill or To Kill a Mockingbird
Yes.
and all that type of stuff because it shows at a pivotal time in America where racism was just rampant, and it just shows you like don't treat the other person. You know, how do I want to say this?
People are not property.
If people are not property, as they're also not, they're not necessarily tools. They're human beings. They have feelings too. That sounds like some bullshit somebody would say. Yeah, there we go.
I respect you.
I respect you, man. I respect you. But no, it's very necessary. Especially, I remember in one book, it wasn't necessarily like you had to read it or something like that, but it was American history, and
American History X.
well, and
Tell your dentist I'm sorry.
in the books that we had, at least because you know that we fucking shitty, fucking county and all that type of shit. Yeah,
I'm aware.
in one of the books, it said like the Democrats, you know, made the KKK.
They did.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, and they did, and I was like, dude, what the hell? And also, there's like a picture recently just surfaced around that says like the birthplace of Republicans to stop the Democrats' campaign on forcing racism or something like that, or forcing racism. You know, like Jim Crow and all that type of shit. I don't know about Jim Crow laws, but like That's on X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it. You say call it by its dead
You
name.
can call it Twix. I've heard people
Twix.
literally like that's how you can like
Oh,
people know
dude,
what you're
yeah.
talking
Dude,
about.
I haven't
It's X,
eaten.
it's
I
Twitter,
haven't eaten
Twix.
in a while, and you're just making me hungry.
Yeah, they got Twix at the vending machines at work. I'm probably going to get one.
Oh, you get it the right or the left? Okay, sorry. Enough of the derailment, but it's very important to have those in school to teach people
Yeah.
about that type of stuff.
Those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it.
Doomed to repeat it, especially. How do you feel about like them taking down statues like Columbus?
Fucking
and,
stupid.
Nope.
and
Don't
like
do that.
yeah,
I
don't do
could I
that.
could see relocating them to museums.
Okay, see, that goes into this amnesia.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Communism can't succeed because too many people remember what happened last time we tried communism.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're trying to get rid of that.
I'm gonna say this right now. If you say that's not real communism for any of the examples that we may or may not bring
Shut
up,
the fuck up.
The
man.
ultimate
shut up.
argument, the ultimate argument to that is, okay, if you need the ultimate perfect fucking conditions for your society or
Yeah.
your government structure to work, maybe it's not a good structure
it's
of
not a
yeah,
good
government.
it isn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like an economic platform. That was only it, right? That's why communism was supposed to be was an economic platform.
It starts from
Control,
an overhead control of
Yeah.
the populace, what they think, it bleeds into authoritarianism in that regard, and it's just not functioning.
I remember
in small
like
communities, it works. Big,
yeah, like you said, it works in small communities. It doesn't work in large.
Yep.
I remember in high school like learning about all that and like especially World War II and everything and understanding what different governments did. I definitely was in the wrong mindset back then. I think as far as like truly understanding all this shit.
Yeah,
It took a while.
There's a saying where it's like, if you weren't a Democrat or a leftist when you were young, then you're heartless, and if you're not conservative when you're older, then you're brainless.
You're retarded, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of understand that. Where it's, you're young, you got hubris, and
Yeah,
you
there's
think, oh, I already know, I've had experiences.
yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Your ideology, it changes.
Humble
over
your
time.
ass real quick
Yes,
once
it
like
does.
Yeah.
life comes around. Just
Yeah.
you get that first big paycheck, and you're like, wait, why is there like
Yeah.
50% of it gone? Why is there so much of it?
I remember my first paycheck when I was in high school, working at McDonald's, whatever, and then they took a much, and I was like, oh, there's a lot of taxes I'm paying, and then my mom took the whole check, and I was like,
Bruh.
like fucking nothing.
Yeah. By the way, fuck that shit.
I know.
I'm
It's
just
like,
saying that
damn.
right now. Fuck that.
Well,
shit.
you know, my brothers and they needed stuff, and so
but that's
I
your
didn't
money.
like it, but I was like, nah, I love them. I don't care. No big deal.
Man, that would piss me off.
Yeah, I know.
I guess
And I was the
I'm too
oldest, too.
greedy, but I was like, it's my money. I worked for it, so why can't I keep it?
Who put the house over your head?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking
I'm
too.
a steel man.
Well, I understand that, but still, that's if they ask if they want me to pay rent. It's not expected.
Get
they have
your
to.
ass out on the curb, you communist.
No, listen. No. When they fucking state it, then you're like, yeah, I will pay rent. I will do that. That's a verbal contract. But when they don't fucking say it, that's an issue.
Yeah.
The thing is like I never took a job when I was living with my parents. I never did that. But as soon I made an account, a big account with my mother, and one day I got grounded for this, by the way, for the stupidest shit. And when I was in high school, I came back and I found out that my entire bank account was drained.
How much did you have in there?
I don't remember, but it was like it was at least 3 digits in
Couple
there,
hundred?
just saved up. And
Your mom took it all?
well, it was probably the debt that she had or the family had debt. And I sat there, I was like, "You fucking serious? That's my fucking money. Why did they do that?"
Yeah.
And that's why I don't trust the bank in town because they took my fucking money.
Well, your mom had her name on it. That's why.
Yeah,
It could have been that because your mom was an executor on the account, they just took money out of your account.
that's probably right, but still, like that's my fucking money.
Yeah.
I know.
And they should not be taking that. And I may say greedy for it, but like financial freedom, it's fucking, it's nice.
Yeah.
I mean, although that was chump change back then, but still, like it's nice to have. Like,
What lesson did you get from that?
Don't trust my mom.
No, you're close. You're really close there. You're really close.
No. That was a joke. No, it's basically don't trust financial institutions.
There you go. Banks would have been an acceptable answer too.
Yeah.
Now I have the exception there because I can trust at least to an extent the bank I go through because my mom is a banker. So,
I also go through the same.
oh,
bank as
you were
yours.
just dissing on my mom's bank, huh?
No. I said the one in town. I'm far away. I said the one in town, not
about.
here. And this where the bunker's close by. So, but no, it's no diss on your mom or anything like that. No, nothing
No,
like
no,
that,
you just diss my mom, and I'm gonna make you regret it.
Hey.
Okay. Fortnite. I guess I'm supposed to keep the air
Sorry,
clear.
guys.
Fortnite.
Yeah, Fortnite. Yeah,
Fortnite.
But
I almost wore that shirt. I almost did.
it
Meat Canyon.
just make sure.
Meat Canyon.
That's one thing too. You got to worry about when you get a little bit older, especially if you get married with somebody, you inherit their debt or you accrued it. Or
Yeah, that's marriage. Not a good proposition right now for most people.
No.
Like you're here proposing a business deal here. Okay, you get the opportunity to partner up with this business partner, and in the event that it fails, they get half of what you put in.
No.
Oh, you're talking.
Yeah, no, I'm not. No, fuck that.
Well, you should have just picked a better woman.
Right. It stems from back during the Depression. There was a problem with men just up and leaving their families, and that would be a death sentence back then.
Oh yeah.
Now that women are in the workforce, it's not a death sentence,
Yeah.
but we're still acting like it is.
That's part of the reason why I'll probably never get married.
Oh, okay. As it legally as it is now, no.
Not a good idea.
No, I'm never.
It's
gonna
not
get
a
married
fair
under
deal
that.
for the man. Yeah.
Now,
And he has
like-
no control over the family.
Now, a covenantal marriage where it's like just between the church, the state has no involvement in it. You don't file your taxes differently or nothing. That I think
Amish?
I'm pretty sure the Amish do it to some extent. They probably still do it on the legal grounds as well, but a covenant marriage is purely just between the church. You don't get the state involved at all, so you don't deal with it.
You can do that?
You can, but then you run into common law marriage type dealios as well.
yeah.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
But the common law is going to hit you regardless of if you do like a covenant marriage, where it's just like if you've lived in the same house for like a certain amount of time, or there's like other stipulations, and it depends on the states, and it's a lot worse in the UK from my
Oh
understanding.
God, yeah.
Yeah.
Or any of the Commonwealth countries are fucked. Canada, Australia, New Zealand, they're all screwed. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's unrelated. There's a lot going down there.
Yeah.
Not just marriage, but that's probably a good indicator when you see like a civilization get to a certain point when their birth rate starts to
Okay,
decline
so
past replacement.
that's all Western civilization. And
It's usually tied to GDP. I can't remember what number the country has to hit, but usually when it hits that threshold of like GDP per
man, MGTOW already knows the answer. Is it once you start giving women money and education, that's it. They don't have no more babies. That's what's happening.
I
wonder why it's happening.
I agree, but it comes down to an argument of like, in order to elevate women, you have to inherently disadvantage men, and that's what
Wrong.
we saw. Well,
Yeah.
in order to elevate one sex, the other one has to take a back seat.
Well, then just keep it the way it is then.
Well,
Fuck that.
I'm trying to get to the experiment here, but
sorry.
it's just so like think about like universities and
Getting mad,
certain
getting
jobs where it's like they're incentivizing women to take these jobs over men for like scholarships and shit like that. It's actively disincentivizing men in the process. So that's why we have crazy amounts of women in the workforce. I forgot what the whole point of.
Fucking worthless.
I don't know if it's worthless. Just
4%, man. 4% of the female population can do what men can do. It's very small, and that's about the same percentage in the military.
I will give you that.
No.
But, and there's a big but, I go back to meritocracy.
Yes.
I'm not going to inherently say, no, you cannot try to do this
I agree.
based on sex. I would never do that. I will say you are less likely
Yeah.
to
So you can
succeed in
try,
this field.
but you
Hell.
don't lower the fucking standards.
And the other thing, okay, so they're always arguing for more women in like fucking like prestigious jobs and shit like that. STEM, stuff like that. STEAM, if you want to throw art in there. It's not categorized the same. But fucking, where are all the women scrambling to get into like sewage treatment or
Yeah.
like oil rigs?
Yeah, exactly.
All that. Why aren't they clamoring to get 50-50 on
Yeah.
the genders of those jobs?
Yeah, I wonder why. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing.
Damn it,
I see that.
Dude, it just singed the tip. I'm used to that. Just singeing the tip. Do it for me. Thank you, Boo Boo Bear.
Do you hear that, by the way? Like these.
The clicking, yeah. The kissing, yeah. I hear the kissing too.
Audio listeners are just tuning out.
All right, I'm changing the channel.
We're about like almost 2 hours.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yep, we're 1 minute shy of the 2 hour mark right
Oh
now.
hell
Yeah,
yeah, dude.
I-
This is
I-
good.
Do we want to wrap a bow on this, or?
I think yeah. I think
I want to say a few things. Before.
Nah, we can wrap it bowl.
Yeah, James doesn't have, yeah,
Well,
Now go
he
ahead.
doesn't have anything smart to say.
it was some music I wanted to touch on and everything.
Oh, we're just gonna plug music.
Well, kinda, I guess.
Not like I've been doing it the whole fucking time.
Plays the fucking.
Do a crazy edit where like for 5 seconds I just play some Meshuggah and my face just turning red.
And possibly red. No, because I showed you it, and I wanted to talk about it and everything. It was I don't know how to say it in Syrian, but it's God, Syria, and Bashar, and
Oh, that's because of what's going on.
yeah,
there?
because what's going on. And
What is going on? I don't.
Oh
I know a
yeah,
little
fuck.
bit.
We didn't even talk about that on the
No,
podcast
we
at all.
didn't.
But
No, go
essentially, Bashar al-Assad is no longer the leader over in Syria,
He's out.
regime change?
and it seems to be Western forces moving in, doing something there because Russia's kind of focusing on the European front in Ukraine, so they're able to help their allies in Syria as well. So it's kind of a weird double-pronged attack.
So we talked about how the North Koreans are helping him out, and how they're
Oh, yeah.
how they're gooning.
Yeah,
They're doing
So, being in a country like North Korea that is completely cut off from internet access and general global culture overall, they're blind to all that. And can you imagine going your whole life not knowing what the internet is, not seeing like
Free porn.
that's I think it's the ultimate psyop against that is the gooning. Like
I wonder if it's hentai.
Nah, maybe
from
not.
my understanding, for like the one dude that was like the example given, he was just watching girls dancing on TikTok because
Yeah,
he'd
I
never
heard-
seen that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So he would just lay in his bed all day on the phone he's given, just looking at girls dancing on
Dance.
TikTok.
They don't dance in Korea.
There's no
No,
TikTok equivalent in Korea.
Not North Korea.
Girls don't dance in North Korea.
If you're dancing in North Korea, it's because that was your state mandated job. You are a professional dancer.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, they do have the.
Yes.
Pretty impressive actually.
Going on, what I was saying is one of the top comments of the video that I watch normally. I actually do like kind of blast it when I'm fucking driving down the highway and everything. Is that particular song? And one of the comments was, and I can't believe it's just stupid, and it's kind of polarizing to some degree. Is it said Allah check mark, Syria check mark, Bashar X, that he's no longer around.
Damn.
There's also videos of his what is his palace, his home, whatever it was,
Yeah, being raided.
it being raided.
That's what happened in Sri Lanka not too long ago too, when their
Yeah.
government collapsed. They're basically making it so farmers could not like farm. Essentially, no fertilizer, nothing.
They rebelled.
That's what they're trying to do in Europe, but the farmers are fighting back there and protesting.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
There is
They're
one.
trying. Bill Gates is trying to do it here,
Fuck that guy.
buying up all the farmland.
Let's not do that.
Fuck that guy.
There's one thing I want to talk about last. This is the last thing I'm going to talk about. Is the generational songs, a particular war song that the Russians have, and it first it takes place in Afghanistan. Really nice image and all that type of stuff. It was basically this guy strumming his guitar and everything, and he was talking about sending a letter to mom. Not necessarily sending a letter, but like writing a letter, but it's in a sing-song format. And he was like, it was either mom. No, it was his mom. It was his sister. And he said, "Hello, my dear. I'm writing to you," or something like that. And he goes on like, "It must be fall, and wherever you are, the leaves are falling, or the night sky, or whatever." And honestly, there's like multiple heartbreaking parts of it, in my opinion. And it was the first one was, "Don't tell mom I'm in Afghanistan." And I was like, damn. And the next one was that he made the guy that was singing the song that was supposed to be writing a letter. He was making a bet with his friend Maxim, whatever the Russian equivalent would be. And he's like, I'm making a bet that he would get out of this. Like he would leave Afghanistan. And
Like make it home?
Yeah, make it home. And then there was a thing about the black tulip. Do you know what a black tulip is?
Death.
Put a picture of the black tulip on the screen.
It's a helicopter that takes the dead from the battlefield and takes them home
Damn.
to the final resting place.
Oh, so he went home.
He went home, and the next generational song of that is of the guy singing about Chechnya,
Yeah, that's a bad one.
going to Chechnya, and it was the same thing. And no hate on the guy that did this. Really good song, but the other one that I saw and like the actual like live battlefield was way better. I do apologize, man, for doing that.
He's watching right now. He's judging you so hard. He's
judging me
writing
right now.
like 30 tweets.
But the one that I showed you, that I sent to you on text message, and I think I sent it to you as well, or posted it in the Discord that we're in. It was basically the same thing, but it was talking about Bakhmut or something like that, and it was
Bakhmut.
But yeah, and it was just in the middle of a war zone. You could hear artillery firing off, hitting the ground.
That's Ukraine.
And then you could hear the gunshots and everything like that. And the Russian guy, let me dust that off right quick. But he was talking about messaging him on like WhatsApp and everything like that. I thought that was a funny touch. But the Russians, they have some really sad fucking songs.
Yeah, they've known nothing but
the dark humor that Russians are very privy to.
Oh yeah.
It comes purely from like the Soviet times, where they're literally their families dying around them. They had to put posters up saying "Don't eat your children" because the starvation was so bad.
Yeah.
Dude, that's 1930s, I think it was, or
I think it was
A really good book to break this down, like the whole like Soviet Russia thing, would be The White Pill by Michael Malice. Very good book. I'm plugging it right at the end here because it's a really good book, really good read, and he's a funny guy too. He's got a funny podcast.
damn.
shit.
But it humanizes them too. Like they're veterans too. They're soldiers. They're human. I want the war to stop.
The new sound of PTSD is going to be the fucking drones whizzing.
I know, dude.
Yeah.
I was
That's
was
insane.
thinking that too.
Like when you just hear a fucking swarm of them
Oh my
flying
God.
over you while you're hiding in a trench, hoping to God none of them just drop a grenade
Have
right
you
on
seen
you.
all the footage of the drone camera going out when it's a guy in a bike or a guy in a fucking Jeep, whatever, and like, God damn. I can't tell if they're Russian or Ukrainian. I can't tell.
Dude, there's this whole
fucking
last
terrifying.
side tangent here, I promise. But I saw a video of how they were getting circumventing drone jamming technology on these tanks. They just fucking run a long ass wire on the drones, so that way the jamming won't work.
Jeez.
So because they can make these drones so cheap with just a little bit of explosives, fly it right into a tank, and just run the wire the whole way. Are they going to follow the wire all the way back to you? Fuck no.
No. I think it's amazing how that new tool for war is like, dude.
It's the next generation of war.
Yeah, man, that's fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
When did Black
You
Ops 2
can't see
take
the
place?
fucker. You can't see the fucker. They're so small.
You can't. You can hear them.
You'll hear it before you see it.
Damn it. And then seeing the fucking down look when the grenade's being dropped on a fucking soldier and he's like grabbing and throwing it, like, motherfucker, man.
Or there's a heart wrenching video out there.
It
where
is
it's like
fucking terrible. It's
there's one I'm talking about specifically where it's like this guy is literally praying to the fucking drone, just like, just fucking let me go. And it's,
Jesus Christ.
yeah, it's sad.
It's terrible, and I'm just gonna say this now. I don't care if I get hate or whatever.
Don't worry, I hate you.
Yeah, thank you. But my heart goes out for the Russians, also for the Ukrainians, but like for the Russians, like my heart goes out for them. too.
Yeah, the whole tribal mentality of it, where it's like our side is good, their side obviously
No.
bad. No, that's horrible. Fucking
I'm with Trump on this. I want the death to stop.
yeah, the dying needs to stop.
Like, if we're going to be fighting anybody, we need to get ready to fight the Chinese, man.
I think we need to just take warfare away from like the physical and then take it purely to like economic warfare. Like keep it at that level.
Because everyone gains on that. Everyone's happy.
There's
There's
it's
economic
a better,
warfare. That's fine.
It's compromises.
Yeah.
It's like eventually it will bleed over into physical warfare where it's like we're fighting over resources. That's kind of where it gets to that point. But
Fallout, Resource Wars.
that's what's next. Game theory predicted it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's all I have to say on that.
You want to wrap it here? I got pee.
Yeah, we can wrap it.
Okay, wrap bow on it. Chromosome 2 podcast.
Yes.
That's us. I'm the guy who edits. I'm the only one plugging my stuff right now because these guys don't got no social media yet. But Soggy Hog on Twitter @Soggy Hog. Follow me there if you really care. I don't do a lot of tweeting myself, but maybe I will in the future. Fortnite.
Fortnite.
Lisa Nakai.